If you've ever lost track of time, promised yourself you wouldn't do the same thing the next day, and then did that same thing the next day, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Folks, welcome everybody to another episode of Live Trading. Happy hump day. We got, as 13 is said earlier today, we got lots of old girlfriends coming back to the table here. So we should be able to trade quite a bit here today. We're going to go ahead and get started.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
All right, folks, we are back. Great to see a whole bunch of returning faces. I forgot to move the bird, so we're going to roll with it. We're going to see if we can keep him in here. If it gets too loud, I'll have 13 hold the fort down, and I'll go move the bird temporarily. But great to see everyone back. Marie, glad that you like that. Okay, let me bring on 13. 13, look, it looks like your old girlfriend's joke is going over really, really well this morning. So
you're gonna get me in trouble if some of my old girlfriends start watching. So
okay, I definitely didn't mean to get you in trouble. Jane Smith, this is my favorite comment of 2024. The bird makes my trades go up. Jane, nice. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. First of all, happy Wednesday, hump day, schlump day, whatever you call it. We're glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking some time out of your morning to trade with us. I do, of course, want to mention again, stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool. They're awesome. Nice prop firm with tons of stocks to trade. Easy way over that 25K threshold if that's what you need. If you need up to $250,000 buying power, they got that too for you. So Trade the Pool. We really appreciate it. Now, 13, let's dive in to the market here today. Yeah, we're going to start with the SPY. Actually, I had Adobe on here. You know what? Now that we did this, we're going to start with Adobe. We had a great conversation about Adobe yesterday. This is actually brought to us by Stay Focused, who some of you have seen in the chat here before. Look at Adobe. We got another one of these 200-day tests. Now, a couple of things to note here. First of all, the last time Adobe really kind of sold off to the 200-day, we got those 3 closes above the 200-day that we'd be waiting for. If you counted this one, you actually got really good entry on that. Stock traded up, but it didn't really rip, and now here we are retesting the 200-day. So a couple of things. Number one, definitely want to watch this. We have one close above the 200-day. Today is the second. But 13, you brought this up yesterday. The more these moving averages get attacked or tested, whatever word you want to choose, the more likely they are to break down. So although we just got a bounce here a couple of weeks ago, this next test might end up breaking through that to the downside. We want to be careful about that. So I am watching this. No position yet. I'll let you know. This is actually one of the last things we talked about. So it's one of the first things that we're going to talk about here today. I'll let you know if we get into this position. 13, was there anything that you wanted to add? We will go to the SPY next, I promise.
No, to your point, we've tested the 200-day SMA. This is like the second trial of testing, I guess we'll call it, since last month. Before that, we haven't touched it since May. So this constant harassment of the 200-day SMA looks like it's going to break down eventually. Now, how far down we go, not quite sure. My first target would be just above 500. And then we'll see what happens when we get there. But I think you're right. I think the more we hammer this 200-day SMA, the more likely it's going to fall through.
Yeah, and by the way, I know you said just above 800, just above 500. We do have a little bit of a support here at 508 and change, but some more support clearly here at 500. So we'll see on Adobe. That's one thing that we're watching here. That's not one of these high-flying movers. Okay, let's talk about the SPY here. So we had a sell-off yesterday. I'll see if I can move the bird here in a sec. We had a sell-off yesterday. One of the things that I've been saying is like this pattern here where it looks like the market really wants to roll over and sell off, maybe test some of these levels beneath here. Doesn't seem to actually do that, right? It looks like it wants to, and then bang, we gap up or we trade up the next day. Well, the same thing's happening here. I'm looking at the pre-market here in the SPY. We're at 510. Everything's looking good, at least in the pre-market. Now, that could change, obviously, but we're just kind of going off the information that we have here. It sure looks like SPY wants to do the exact same thing. One of the other things to note here is that we have been on low volume. Don't we have day one of Powell's testimony here today? That could absolutely be a driver. It's possible that the market, especially this week, was probably waiting for some of those comments. I believe it's a today and tomorrow testimony, isn't it, 13?
I believe so. I know that today's the first day. Then also on Thursday, we have Broadcom's earnings after the market closes. And then the day after that, in the morning, we get the jobs report. So one of the things I'm going to be looking at with Powell today when he gives his testimony, maybe even tomorrow, is I think he's going to try to direct more attention to these economic reports, such as the jobs report. I think he'll be trying to highlight that, because that's what they've been saying lately, is we're going to act with our rate increases or decreases in accordance with what we're seeing out of these economic reports. So I think he's going to direct attention to those.
I think you're right. I mean, he's been telling us he's going to be data dependent. Are we really shocked that he's actually going to be data dependent? I mean, no. To me, this seems in line. So,
and to your point as well about the SPY price action, simply repeating that same pattern that we've seen for the past couple of months, almost 3 months now. After this big sell-off, we start to consolidate at above a certain level. If we trade up and close green today, then the pattern that's been repeating is that tomorrow we're going to go even higher.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we're kind of watching for here today. I do want to move over to the movers. We do have a lot of stuff moving around here today, but I do want to set up one more potential trade here. Again, this has been a former winner for me. I'm out of it now. I actually traded this in my main account, and I traded this in the Trade the Pool prop account and did fairly well with it. My first trade on this stock ever was a loss, but that's neither here nor there. I've actually made that back, and I've done it tactically. I didn't really revenge trade. But I think I see a breakout coming here in TGTX. First of all, we've been watching the stock for a while. It's definitely strong. We did pop on this candle right here. We popped to a high of 1889. Let's call it just 19, maybe that area from 1889 up to 19. And when we kind of came back here, we've been drifting up towards that. So we're at 1822 right now. I wouldn't be shocked if we actually test this 1889 or 19 level today. And to me, if it breaks that, I could easily see 20 plus here, maybe even a retest of these highs that are just above 22. So TGTX has been great for us so far, or it's been great. I should say it's been great for me so far. But looking at this daily chart here, sure looks like we want to break here. Really need some volume to do that. The other thing that's encouraging is it's above all of these moving averages. So we'll see if we end up getting that. Again, no position yet, but I am watching this for a potential trade. Yep, you were going to say?
I was just going to say a great job on your trade.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and see if we can hit that again. Now, let's get over to some of the news here today. First one I want to start with is Palantir. Okay. Ticker PLTR 13. You had a great spot on this that I want to share with the group here. Okay. First of all, Palantir is up 9.1% here this morning. Palantir shares trading higher after the company announced an Army contract. The company also announced customers will showcase their work at Palantir's AI platform at the AI PCon event on March 7th. So they're going to show off some of their new tech at an AI conference. That's definitely going to be positive for the stock, or at least the news of that seems positive. But this Army contract is probably what's driving it. Now, 13, here's the spot that we were just talking about this before we came on. If you look in Benzinga Pro for yesterday, right? So if you just look at yesterday's news, at 8:54 in the morning, we had a piece of news here that came from one of our partner sources, which I'll discuss in a second. Palantir likely wins $178 million Titan contract with the U.S. Army. Okay, this was 8:54 a.m. yesterday morning. This morning, Palantir jumps as Army confirms $178 million Titan contract. So we talk a lot about, trades setting up, buy the rumors, sell the news. Sure looks like that might have been what you got right here, right? You got this article yesterday. This came from one of our partner sources. Okay. Remember, Benzinga Pro, we don't just give you Benzinga news. We don't just give you Benzinga news and press releases. We aggregate a lot of our news, and we actually have a partner feed where we get news from other partners that we have, things like TechCrunch or Seeking Alpha, which is exactly where this came from here. So if you are kind of looking to expand your usage of the news feed here in Benzinga Pro, first of all, I think you're on the right track. But second of all, if you ever see one of these partner links here, what you can do is you can actually click this little pop-out icon. It's the one all the way at the right. It's a little square with an arrow pointing to the upper right corner. And what that will do, you can't see it because I'm only sharing this window, but that will actually open the article in another window here. Now, in this case, Seeking Alpha is a subscription service. I don't have a subscription service, so I was only able to read the top there. If you have some of those tricks for getting around it, I didn't tell anybody. But there you go. You can actually get that news right here. Now, the key here is that we had a rumor of a contract being accepted yesterday. You really didn't even need the article. And then today we had confirmation of that contract. So 13, this was an awesome spot by you. I absolutely love this. I love when you can find things like this and how you can actually leverage some of these tools to make better trades. Palantir is one we've both kind of been stalking for a pullback. Doesn't look like we're going to get that here today.
Yeah, maybe not today. I don't know if we're going to get that pullback or not. I'm still waiting for one to happen, but I'm just kind of kicking myself because we were in live trading. I saw that news and I kind of glossed over it like, okay, well, you know, there's other pressing things going on right now. Like there's some really good trades happening. Yep. So I didn't pay too much attention to it when I really should have. And so I'm just kicking myself a little bit for that because that was a rumor.
And to that point, 13, when this news item dropped, did it have an impact on the stock price right at the moment? It was kind of
I haven't looked, but I don't think it really did. It may have popped a little bit, but not really breakout type of move, you know?
But see, that's the thing. That rumor gives you the opportunity. The confirmation of that contract here gives you an ability to lighten that position, maybe even book some or all of those gains, depending on what your trade plan was. So awesome.
Smoke tuna in at 7. Jeez, you're
yeah.
lucky.
Smoke tuna, I believe that if I recall correctly, Smoke tuna, you have been saying that this is a long-term hold for you, right? So this is a $7 was great entry on this. I mean, my God, I feel like that was a long time ago at this point. It was really about this time last year. We were in that 6-7 handle. But awesome job by you. Humble Ninja saying news is difficult to make trading decisions on. Honestly, I totally understand where you're coming from on this. In fact, when I was newer, I would think, God, if they're saying anything positive, that's going to make the stock go, right? Not necessarily. All news is not created equal. One of the key things to take away from here is that if you can recognize different sources that often hit hard, if you will, if you can recognize patterns in some of those news, what's being discussed. Like here's an Army contract. I mean, this is, you know, this is a pretty big catalyst here. If there are patterns, if there are different things that you can recognize from that news. 13, you've done a great job discussing some of the different patterns you've recognized when it comes to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 trials for some of these biotech companies, and which of these trials are actually sell the news and which ones you can actually buy on some of this good data. So if you can recognize those patterns, that's going to put you in the driver's seat for making trades off news. The other thing that's really going to help you is your risk parameters, right? If you know you're going to trade something short term and your trade starts to go against you, hopefully you have a plan of, I guess, a defensive plan to keep yourself protected.
Shall we go into some of these movers?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do that right now. Okay. First one here on the list is going to be APM. Aptorum. Now, I don't think I've ever traded this before. I don't even know if I've ever pulled this ticker up here before. We did pop as high as 6. We've retreated back now. We're doing a decent job holding this 4 level. We did have some news here today. Aptorum Group Ltd announces entering into an agreement and plan of merger with YOOV Group Holdings. So it looks like this is some more information here. And split off agreement to separate its legacy business upon completion of the merger. The existing shareholders would approximately own 10% and 90% respectively between these two companies. I'll be honest with you. I'd be curious to know what anyone else out here thinks. To me, with all of the different movers that we have on deck today, this one is probably not the one that I'm going to pick. It's a merger. I don't really know what the price is supposed to be. I'm not familiar with any of the companies. I've got no angle on this, so I'll probably make better trades elsewhere. But worth mentioning here is it's one of the top movers in the morning.
Yeah, that's the big thing about this one. It's entering into a merger. Now it does have a nice setup there, a bit of a bull flag, if you will. But and it could be a good trade. I mean, on the daily, I saw it went right up to the 500-day SMA, so there was that. But I just don't know where this is going to land, and we might get news right away about prices. But it's a merger, so the move may have already been put in.
Exactly. And that's there. And just kind of back to some of that news, that's where some of that, mergers, not the greatest example because it's fairly obvious. The big news might be out of the way. Now, if this thing does trade, if there is some volatility here and this thing maintains volume and is trading back and forth, decent range here between 4 and 6. So we'll make the most of that. But I do, like I said before, I think we've got some better targets here. Let's check them out. Next one here is going to be AISP. This is Airship AI Holdings. We actually traded this yesterday. I scalped this really early on for a nice little gain. The big move happened in the afternoon. Now, how many times have we been talking recently about some of these movers, some of these small cap names that, there's some action in the morning, but the real big move doesn't come until later in the afternoon. That's exactly what we saw here. You could have used the expanding volume that I'm always looking for. That really told the story here as we start to push away from the VWAP. The thing here is that now we're gapping up again. We've actually taken 2 legs up, and it looks like we're about to take out the pre-market highs as we speak. And didn't we? Yes. New pre-market highs here on AISP. As far as the news goes, I've got nothing fresh here. Remember, yesterday they announced a significant sole source contract award with the Department of Justice. Maybe that's just some continuation here on AISP. Let me check the short interest. I got nothing here as far as the short interest. I got some here. I've got no float, no percent of the float because we can't really calculate that. About 100,000 shares short on average. Stock trades about 200,000 shares a day. 100-day average is about 5 million. Today we've traded 17.5 million. I don't know. Sure looks like all the eyeballs are here today. It's definitely got some upside momentum. Let's see if we actually stop at 9 or maybe come back in. For me, as far as trading this, I'd really love for this to come back into a support level. I'm not going to chase the price action up here. I feel like that's just going to pull back in my face if I do that. I got the VWAP here at 765. If we pull back to that and we hold it, that could make some decent entry.
Yeah, this likely just moving on the relative volume that we got from yesterday as a result of that contract award. And we still don't have, I don't think we have all the figures on that contract award. So this is a lot of speculative price action that's happening right here. And,
Smoke Tuna is saying AISP is trying to reach 11. There are some warrants out there for execution. That helps. EKS mentioning that the float is tiny. Just showed you I actually didn't have a float figure courtesy of Morningstar, but you might be able to find some estimated float figures out there. Looks like this one's small. That would make sense given the trading action that we saw yesterday. 13, any levels for you on this one?
It's blown through most of the ones that I have. I mean, I think we could probably, like he was saying about the warrants, we could get up to 10 because this looks like it was a SPAC previously.
Yep.
The 500-day SMA is at 923, so that's another level as well. But I think we'll probably it's quite possible we'll see it topping out around that 9 to 11 range. But until we get some figures, it could keep going. I mean, I really don't know where this ends when you don't have when it's the market is speculative and it just doesn't have any idea where this is going. Now the thing is that this company still does need cash, so they could also do an offering at any point here. So that's another thing to be careful about. So this is not going to be something that I hold. If I'm going to do anything with this, it'll be just a day trading vehicle. But we've already had quite a couple of days running. Be careful.
Yeah. Back in January 2nd of this year, the director and CEO, chairman of the board, bought 60,000 shares at $1.92. So just kind of keep in mind where this thing has come from. We'll see where we end up finishing up. This one definitely on deck here today. Okay, next I have here on the list NKGN. This is NKGN Biotech. I'll be honest, I don't really recognize this one. We popped in the after hours yesterday. We popped again to new highs here in the pre-market. We've bled a lot of those gains back. In fact, we've retraced about 2/3 of this pop this morning. We did have some decent volume here in the pre-market, which is encouraging to see. I don't see anything here on the news front. I think that this is probably just a technical trade. What say you, 13?
They had a presentation announcement on Monday. And other than that, I don't see any other news that's driving this. They have an 1.65 million share float. Other than that, not quite sure what this is. Yeah, I agree with Smoke Tuna that all the moves might have already happened, because you can look at this chart and see that it's been trying to get to 180. It was successful yesterday, not successful this morning. I don't know. I don't know about this one. There's probably going to be better things to trade, but keep it on your radar in case it provides a setup.
Yeah, this 150 level, definitely a level of note. This is where the thing really started to break down last and started to accelerate to the downside. I would imagine that that's going to provide some resistance again to the upside here. NKGN. Okay, next, one of the old GFs of 13. Or we're going to try to get you in trouble today. Just kidding. Meds here. We are popping here. Of course, there is a catalyst here today. Trade. I don't even know how you're supposed to say this. TRX8. I'm just going to call it Trade Health. Hopefully, we all know what I'm talking about. Ticker MEDS. Trade Health shares are trading higher after the company announced a special cash dividend of $8 per share. Now, this stock closed yesterday at about $8. Today, it's popped up to 14. We've retraced a lot of that move. We've curled back up to the VWAP. Currently sitting about 220. 13, we talked a little bit about the special dividend this morning. Why don't you tell the group your thoughts on the special dividend here, or what you're looking for, what you're kind of thinking with meds here?
Well, based upon the float, not the outstanding shares, which is 1.2 million, but based upon the float, that would mean that they're paying out over $7 million in dividends. This is all on the sale of assets that they are trying to close or have recently closed, and that's going to be for shareholders of record as of March 18th. So the thing that I'm wondering about is, okay, well, people are going to pile into this and just hold into that March 18th ex-div date, or are they just going to trade it until we get closer? So I'm not quite sure how this is going to move around, but that $8 share dividend is weird. But also they have a 1-for-15 reverse split that they did on back in June. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. It could be a great trading vehicle today, but I just don't know how this is going to pan out with that $8 special dividend.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Smoke Tuna is saying Meds has 4.74 months of cash runway. Yeah. Normally speaking, the stock pops and needs cash. I'd be thinking offering. I'm not sure what to make of the special dividend here. This stock was a recent reverse split, or a fairly recent reverse split. I mean, it was something ridiculous, wasn't it? Let's see.
Calendar. Well, it was 1-for-15 on June.
Yeah, but and then back in 2014, it did a 1-for-1,000. So in 2020, it did a 1-for-6 reverse split. In June of last year, it did a 1-for-15, like you were just saying there. So I guess that's not really recent. Seems more recent in my memory, but in any case, we've seen this one move around. Low float, definitely likes to move, has a catalyst here, and we're actually up 42% here in the pre-market. Next one's going to be IFBD. This is InfoBird. Now, we've taken a look at this one. We've actually traded this one here. This popped big on volume up towards $10 earlier. We've really come back in. Got about a $1.30 gap to the downside from the VWAP here, so even a regression back to the mean on InfoBird would be a decent trade. Got to make sure it holds here. Looks like on this move down, it did kind of hold this low 6 handle, maybe 630 somewhere in there. We'll see where InfoBird actually ends up here. You take a look at the daily chart, it is not a good one. It definitely trading vehicle only here on InfoBird. This stock, not good. Not good on the daily chart. Let's check the news tab here. Didn't see anything fresh, not even for like the last couple of days. So I think that this is just kind of moving around on technical trading. What do you think of InfoBird, ticker IFBD?
This is moving around on the reverse split they did on Monday. It was 1-for-8 reverse split. This is their 4th reverse split since 2022.
That explains why the daily chart looks like this, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I mean, my goodness.
So that's why I believe it's moving, because we just had the reverse split, and when you check all those boxes, it does this. They have a 10.7 million share float. Like you said, no news. It's just all the reverse split, in my opinion.
Okay, there you go. InfoBird, we will see. Now, CrowdStrike, I know we got 2 minutes till we open here. I'm going to go over CrowdStrike really quickly. They had earnings yesterday, a really nice guide, upbeat guidance, as mentioned here in Benzinga Pro. CrowdStrike up 21.5% here. This is a huge company with a huge move. So definitely want to see how this trades. I have no position in this one yet, so it's not as if I'm going to be booking gains or really doing anything here. CrowdStrike would be curious to know if anyone thinks this wants to do a gap and go here. Jay, I think you've traded some gap and goes before. In any case, I want to see where CrowdStrike ends up here today. It is bleeding, leaking a little bit here in the pre-market. Let's see what happens when the volume pours in here. Next is going to be CELZ. This is Creative Medical Tech. We did have a catalyst here today. Creative Medical Technology holding shares are trading higher after the company announced it received FDA orphan drug designation for CELZ 101. Popped as high as 750, has done nothing but bleed all the way back. This extremely weak in the pre-market. The strategy here for me in terms of a potential trade is to see if it makes that bottoming formation on the trade the pool broker that we're going to be switching over to here that relies on the MACD on that 3-minute chart as well as the VWAP. We'll see if this actually firms up to give us a trade, but yikes. Big retracement of that stick here so far.
Yep. So the FDA orphan drug designation comes with tax advantages, user fee exemptions, and they have market exclusivity when they open, when it's approved. We're about to open here in a few seconds, so that's that.
Okay. Really quickly, just to mention here, Hollow back, OCEA up a little bit here today. We already talked about Palantir. Okay, let's flip over to the scanner and get this done.
All right. Looks like Meds is trying to make a move out of the gate here. I don't think the volume's that great to push it up, though.
Okay, I'm going to actually flip over to the Trade the Pool software here real quick. Oops. I have to add it to the stage. Come on now, Ryan. Come on now. Okay, here we go. So I was looking at Tesla. Look, by the way, Tesla really kind of came off the bottom here. Let's take a look at CELZ. That first move here was up. Wow, really spread. AISP, that was another big mover here. Let's see what AISP is doing. By the way, Zim beneath 11 now, thinking of maybe adding to that. AISP coming back to the VWAP. I have that VWAP at 793. Let's see if we find some support there and bounce on AISP.
I have a level of 8 on AISP, sorry. And then so as that support, and then after that for resistance, I have 1070. It looks like for upside resistance.
Okay, here we go. We're right back down to 8 here. I do see some size on the bid there at 8.
A lot of pre-market demand down there. So if it doesn't hold, then I would say the 65 EMA down at 735 is the next level. But we could bounce here at 8.
It was a fast move down there to 8. See if
Info Bird trying to move up.
I'm going to try to. This might be dangerous. If any of you are interested in trading AISP, keep that on your radar. Really quickly, I'm going to flip over here. Mihai asking about ticker HIPO. This is Hippo. This one here, I actually have to pull this up in Pro. I believe they had earnings. I'm not sure what that print was. You can see they really traded up. They come back in. They were just rejected there at the VWAP. Let me actually go through this report here. I'm not familiar with Hippo. Let me go back to AISP as we wait for that setup to materialize. There we go. We actually just broke through 8 back down to that VWAP here. Let's see if this thing firms up at all. What do you say? Do we try to catch a falling knife or nah?
No, that's how you get cut.
That's how you get cut. A little bit more size here, 767. Let's see if that provides any support. They're lining bids up beneath the price here, but they're just getting whacked. Just getting whacked. Let's see if anyone else is looking for AISP.
Just kind of hold. Is Rail Vision coming back?
HIPO really falling out of bed now.
Yeah, there's Rail Vision. It's popped out of the open here. Had a nice full flag setup.
Okay, let me check on Rail Vision here real quick. By the way, TGTX was waiting on that one here. That actually pushing, looking like that's breaking out here. RVSN is, of course, the Rail Vision ticker. Let's flip over to that. RVSN here. Wow, this is actually popping off the VWAP. Took out those pre-market highs here on RVSN.
This one looks like it's going to try to push up to 270. Might even take it out.
I was going to say that was a great call. It went right to 262. I need this closer to a VWAP for entry. I feel like I've been run over by Rail Vision before.
Well, you were sitting on the tracks when the train came.
Yeah, sure was. Sure was. We're not going to do that again. That's for sure. Someone mentioning Archer's up. Archer up about 20 cents here this morning. That's not bad.
No, that's good.
Got a longer term position there in Archer. Jay's still trimming up IBM. Boy, you must have made a small fortune on that. That name continues to push up here. IBM above 193, looking like it's trying to take 194 out.
Yeah, I was also selling mine as well. I sold half earlier this week.
Here you go on AISP. It looks like it did kind of hold that 798 area. It looks like we actually traded down to about the 770. Great bounce there. Jay Summers already hitting this for 15-cent scalp on the way back up. Nice job, Jay Summers.
There's Rail Vision at 270 and through.
Great call on that. All I had to do was take it off the screen here, 13.
Thanks for
doing
that.
All I had to do, and your spot was going to fall. Look at this move. Look at this pop right here. You gave us the spot there. That move up to 260 primed it. The move through 270 has this thing going here. Actually, let's take a look at DWAC. We talked about this yesterday. Trump absolutely smoking Super Tuesday yesterday. Let's be honest. Who is he really running against? This seems like a sell the news event to me. DWAC down here. What? This is almost, let's see.
Yeah, that's getting sold off. I think the news that everybody's waiting for is Nikki Haley to fold.
Do you think that that's going to make this go up? I mean, this is unpredictable for me. This is what's difficult about actually trading this asset. I mean, politics is difficult to understand as it is. Being able to then make sense of stocks that are tied to some of that, harder still. This to me, leading up to this kind of felt like a sell the news event, but you bring up a good point. If you get any type of official dropout or anything like that, maybe that's the catalyst that this is actually waiting for. DWAC down here about 6% today.
Yeah, and just have levels for this thing so you know where it's going. I mean, the levels that I've got here have been more or less been pretty right on. So as long as you're looking to the left and looking where the levels are, you should have a better idea of where this thing could go on with downside and with upside.
Yeah, so a couple other people that, offering their opinions here on DWAC. Agree on DWAC, rum, fun, all of those are related. Thanks, Jay, for giving us the peers as well. The news was already built in. 100% agree. To me, there was really no surprise here. Lynn is mentioning Haley speaks in 25 minutes, so I guess maybe keep your eye on that. This is trading up off those lows. We're up 1% off the lows. Whatever you think there. Priced in already. She won one state. He already blew past her. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Okay, sorry. What was the ticker?
Oh, I was just saying Vermont. This is one that she won.
Vermont. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm just looking to see, just trying to find something that's setting up. Like that was a really easy one to see with Rail Vision setting up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure looks like we have a halt here.
We do have a halt on Hollow. Nice callbacks. Hollow halted to the upside here. This actually popped off one of those lows into that halt. Wisp mentioning that ARM is curling.
That's flexing its bicep.
Chart. Say again?
It's flexing its bicep.
Flexing its bicep.
That's what happens when ARM curls.
It's crazy how triceps though.
It's crazy how Bitcoin made like a $10,000 round trip between yesterday and today.
Yeah, here, let me actually prime that on another chart. We can take a look at that real fast.
That was wild.
Look, Bitcoin's been fun, and thankfully I don't have any more gray hairs because I haven't been trading it. It's just still been long, straight up long Bitcoin, and that's been the move, at least for me.
AISP is trying to regain the $8 level. Looks like it's succeeded so far, but it's got to make its way through VWAP and some other EMAs. Real
quick here. APM, not ARM. Sorry, Wes. I was going to say it doesn't look like ARM is holding here, but you were actually talking about APM. Sorry, I straight up missed that. You're right, though. This is curling. Looks like it's using that 3 as support here. Got a little bit of size here at 332 for this to move back up. VWAP at 425.
Rail Vision through 3.
Play there. Say again.
Rail Vision through 3.
Oh my God, nice call on Rail Vision here. This is the runner. So far, this is the runner. Great call here, 13 on that early.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm just going to set some levels here, see if I can, because I don't have levels down here. This because this thing popped back in January, and it went all the way up to over $23. So I don't have levels down here after it's
the backside of that up move that you're referring to literally started on February 1st. The end of January was the actual top for RVSN. And if you take a look at this daily chart right up here where I'm kind of moving my mouse, you can see we popped as high as $22 and change. We've almost round tripped this entirely. We've round tripped this entirely. So the levels that you're putting in now, these might be levels that we use again in the future.
Yeah. I'm probably going to see, if Real Vision gets going today, I think it's probably going to go to just under 4, if not 4.
APM rejected on that curl. Good call here, Wes. I'll get that ticker right. Hollow being mentioned still. Hollow's still halted. Jay mentioning Target. This has been a beast. Man, look at this thing. Let me actually look at that on a different, let's go to my chart tool here in Pro. Nice to see TGTX coming back in a little bit. Okay, I'll get there in a sec. All right, let's take a look at Target. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking with Target. Jay, I'd love your opinion on this, especially since you've been watching this one. So Target, the move here has been really impressive, right? First move here was back in November. Recent move here was at the beginning of March. Target does look like it's popping into this resistance area. So what I'm wondering here is, I know that this certainly looks like this is breaking out. It's absolutely been a beast. Does it stop here at 180? Does it find some resistance here at 180? Or does it blow through this and maybe have a chance of filling this gap up to 210? Got this at maybe 209 and change, but let's call it 210. So this is going to be the big move for right in here. 180, 182, I think there's some pretty serious resistance. But if you break above that, we're into a pretty decent gap here up to 200. Jay saying I'd trim. So I'm with you there, especially wherever you bought that. I said yesterday, I feel like I said it 100 times, be sure to pay yourself on the way up on some of these trades. I would do exactly that here as well, Jay. If you get anywhere near this 180, trim some. If you think we're going to break into this gap and go higher here, maybe leave a trailer for that.
Yeah, I think Real Vision is looking like one of the strongest ones. Oh, wow, Hollow's strong too. This one's probably going to go to 10.
Okay, let me go back to trade the pool here real quick.
But Real Vision seems to be the strongest out of all the ones we mentioned so far this morning. All the other ones have been leaking ever since they opened.
Okay. Here is Hollow, by the way. Sorry.
It's okay. You're all good. I'm just saying Airship AI is just kind of holding up at the pre-market demand zone here, but needs to move up if it's going to get away from that. Otherwise, we're headed lower. Yeah,
I do kind of like this $8 area. This
SOUN is being mentioned. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm kind of thinking about this. It does look like this is really struggling with this level, but it's that round level and kind of where the VWAP is, and kind of makes me want to try it. Doesn't look good, or doesn't look all that great. BYSI got mentioned earlier. I was a little late on this one. This is really making a good move, staying above its VWAP. We actually just pushed to the highs here at 374. The next resistance, I think we're there. Yeah, we're pretty much over that last resistance here. Let me back out and see. Yeah, that's about it. BYSI. This looks like blue sky breakout here. BYSI.
Yeah, I agree with Smoke Tuna. That needs to come in a bit here first.
Yeah, no question. You can't be chasing that candle here. SOUN. This looks like this is maybe trying to bounce. This actually would be a bounce off the retracement on the daily. Parker mentioning a lot of these cybersecurity names trading down. PanW 285. This actually might be getting interesting again here in PanW. ZS also being mentioned. That's of course Zscaler here. This also coming in a little bit. Come on, charts resolved for me. Come on, charts. And then what was the other one? You had CrowdStrike, which was after reported earnings. How's that doing after earnings?
From yesterday, APGE, you don't have to bring this one up since you're looking at CrowdStrike, but APGE is that was a slow mover yesterday. It had some pretty good price action in the market, pre-market, and in the regular session, and it's coming back up to the regular session highs as we speak. So
here real quick, here is go flip over to that. Here is CrowdStrike. You can see this is really kind of coming back in. I would imagine at some point after some of this profit taking, we actually have a bounce here in CrowdStrike. Maybe keep that on the back burner here.
I think Meds is trying to get going here. MEDS. Volume's not too great, but it's trying to push above this 12, 15.
Get that back up in the trading pot. You guys are mentioning chart issues in Pro. I haven't seen them yet, thankfully. Let me report that nonetheless, though. Okay, let me go back to trade the pool here so we can actually stock some entry on this. Here is Meds. Oh, looks like that broke away from its VWAP here. WIS is in APM, so you did end up taking that here, APM on this curl. Maybe we get back to the VWAP here. Still 60 cents on a move back to the VWAP on APM. It's actually looking pretty good. I like the volume. I like the buying volume flowing in here. Born asking me, Ryan, have you been having trouble with the way TD platform works now the Schwab has taken TD over? You know what? No, I haven't. What I will say is that I'm not super active in that account throughout the course of the day. I would say on average, I'm doing between 2 and 5 trades, both closing and opening, or a mixture of the two, I would say. What kind of problems are you seeing? I haven't noticed anything, but it might just be because it's not something that I'm looking at. Would love to hear what kind of issues.
Looks like Rail Vision's still strong, trying to get through 315.
APM holding this curl here. RVSN is what you're looking at. That actually looks like the top might be coming off here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I think 340 is the next level I have in this one. It's trying to break through it. Now it's made new highs. 320 is
back to the that move back to the VWAP, you know, gave opportunity there. Let me flip.
Looks like,
let me get. Go ahead. Sorry.
Like, AISP is coming down some more, getting closer to the 65 EMA.
Ooh, Booglog giving you an aggressive call here. Booglog saying, Ryan, SOUN is going to be the next AI stock to run big. I say it will rip to about 50 or more. There you go, Boog. I am not in that. That would be a monster rip if you get that out of SOUN. AISP, this still looks like this wants to break down here a little bit more. Guys, keep mentioning Pan W. Piques my curiosity every time. Every time. I've got that 200-day at 265 on Pan W. I saw EV Go being mentioned earlier. Carmen, I think that you still have EV Go, right? You've mentioned that a number of times. This moved right back to its 200-day. See if we can break above that, maybe get a couple of closes. Maybe we can get a nice little move up to 5 here in EV Go. A couple of closes above that a 200-day.
Looks like Rail Vision's trying to go.
Man, every time I take RVSN off the screen, it does something.
I mean, it might get some pullback here because there's a pretty big size at 325, but you know, we've seen that get eaten up pretty easily too.
Yeah, I think I see some more at 328 there too. Looks like that flashed in there for a sec. Lynn calling a halt on APEI. Pro confirms that. BIAF is halted. Did that get mentioned earlier? Bioaffinity? Boy, that thing, I don't even know what that is. APEI, American Public Education. RVSN new highs here, by the way. I'll go right back to it. This one kind of thin. Looks like, is this? Man. API. This is halted, so we don't have bid ask in there. But let's take a look at RVSN. This is a big move here. I'm not sure what that company does. RVSN, okay, it looks like 322 is that high. Still have the big size there at 327. Wisdom that's saying, funky. I see dead stocks.
Yeah, lots of things just kind of falling or not bouncing. There are things that are going down to their 200 EMA and just not moving. Looks like Soundhound's finally getting going though. We're trying to. It's probably going to move up over 550 if it can break through that size there.
Yeah, the curl on the daily actually looks fairly interesting on this one. 394 on RVSN. Parker giving you that as a potential spot here. Office assistant, what are you doing? What stock was I just going to look at? Lost my train. Boy, we've got a lot going on.
Yeah. Lots of
the sound daily chart and pro. That's right.
Hollow went all the way down to 730. It looks like.
Sound looks like this is slowing down here intraday. Here's Hollow. This definitely pulled back here. Wisdom. Thinking about going fishing as I have better chances to bring home dinner than bank on the floppy hands in the market today. Oh, good form, Wisdom.
That might be true.
Coinbase getting a mention here.
AISP went down to its 65 EMA. Could reverse here. Or we could completely just fall through to the next level. What is the SPY looking like? Are we going higher?
Jay here saying, Mara, notice how it's having a hard time. Bitcoin. So this is actually mirroring the current move that I'm seeing in Bitcoin. Looking at the CBOE Bitcoin futures chart here, trading down to 66,800. Its recent move was down on volume, but so far it's getting bought. I wouldn't, if this turns around here, I think Mara probably comes back to the VWAP here. It's about, 50 cents away.
Rail Vision broke through that 340 level and went all the way up to 367. Now we're pulling back a bit here. There's a big order at 366. It's got to make its way through.
My God, what a rip on Rail Vision. Great call, 13. You really hooked this one early today.
Hopefully other folks are getting some money out of this.
Jeremy, 20% on Rail Vision and I'm out.
Nice.
You're going to get a register ring, Jeremy. Book those gains. That's what I want to hear, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Cleo likes it. The bird likes your trade. Yeah, TGTX was a bad call. Let's take a look here at TGTX. So it looks like this is just kind of coming back into where it was. I don't think that this is over here yet. Here, let me bring up the formation that we're looking at on TGTX. We can tell you when it is invalidated.
Here we go. Rail Vision is trying to break through again.
Okay, let me go back to that real quick. While
sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
It's trying. I mean, it's attacking the 366. There's still size there, but if it can keep up with this volume, it'll go through and we'll hit 385. But
okay.
Not working.
Okay, so real quick here, we'll talk TGTX and what I'm looking at here. First of all, it definitely has strength after its recent pop and price action. The fact that it's above all of the moving averages, all bullish. What it's doing right here is testing this breakout. I certainly don't think this is over. What I would need for this to think that this is over is to really kind of engulf this sideways formation. So a move back down here, let's call it 1730, maybe even 17 if you want to have that as your stop. That's where I would invalidate this move. Otherwise, this still looks in play. If you look inside the daily candle here today, yeah, we've retraced some of that. But look, we really just kind of held the open. I don't think this is over yet. I don't think this one is over yet. TGTX, don't think it's over yet.
We did not mention STRC. That's Sarko's technology. That one's running this morning.
Yeah, and actually, I'm going to add some TGTX here in my main account, small. Nice little starter. Thanks for the reminder there. Okay, let me go back to trade the pool here. Here's Rail Vision. All I had to do was come back here and hit new highs, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, this thing is relentless right now. And just looking around for other things. Looks like AISP is not having
a great day so far, and it's headed lower.
Yeah, that definitely rejected at its VWAP here. Now, possible spots for this to firm up: 650, 640, maybe in there, maybe that area between 640 and 655 for a potential firm up here on AISP. We'll watch that level and see if it finds any type of support or buyers at that level. Jay Rice trimming lift. Boy, I'll tell you what, Jay, that was another really good call. That was the earnings that really popped it, and this nice pullback here and then move back up on the daily. So here you go on lift, right? They came back in towards that 20-day moving average, bang, right back up towards the highs here on lift. Looking for a same type of thing on SOUN, by the way. We pull that up. You take a look at the daily chart. Maybe we're kind of trying to bounce here close to that same 20-day moving average. I don't know. Jury's still out on SOUN, but that's what makes a market. Can you look at SMR? What's going on with SMR? New Scale Power Corporation. So this is not one I'm familiar with. This chart here, just pretty big downtrend from the beginning of 2023. This traded right back to its 200-day. Marlon, what I'd be looking for here is, can we break through and maybe close above that 200-day? That would be something. So that was what? Let me pull that up in my SMR. Pull it up in Pro here. So here's what I'm looking at. And 13, if you've got something, feel free to interrupt.
Here's what Real Vision's just going. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's the same stock, just really ripping there. SMR, and actually this downtrend, I beg your pardon, this downtrend really started August of 2022. Maybe we have kind of found a bottom here. I like this in terms of a bottom formation here. Looks like we double tested what, 190, maybe that $2 level right in there. Bottom looks like it's in. What I want to see is, what do we do here at this 200-day? Do we get rejected right here? I don't want to buy it at resistance. If we can clear this out, maybe get a close or two, or maybe even three above that 200-day, I think maybe you got some room up to that 500-day. Maybe we can change this trend around. Marlon, this is an interesting one. Not as familiar with this. New Scale gauge the development of new modular light water reactor nuclear power plants. Don't we have a nuclear? No. We got an energy. I'm going to add this one, though. Where is that? Yeah, this is, like, I'll tell you, when you have too many watch lists, it's hard to find the ones that you're looking for.
Looks like NKGN is trying to push through its 65 EMA. That was support in pre-market. Looks like Hollow's trying to find a bottom around 725. Sound still trying to hold up here. I'm not sure what's going on with this one.
Yeah, it's trying to hold that VWAP here.
Yeah, the wicks on this one aren't looking great. Looks like Meds is trying to turn around. It needs to make its way back up through VWAP, though.
AISP at 7 here. Let's see if it bounces. Here's Meds. That I've got 1196 as that VWAP in there, by the way. RVSN, dude. That is just 4 tests coming here on RVSN, almost certainly.
Yeah, I have a 420 as the next level, and then after that, 551. Getting some pretty heavy sell orders there, but we're breaking through them. We're probably going to move through some more of these here if we get some of these EMAs crossing VWAP. And
Wisdom.
What's that?
Wisdom just here's 420 and his mind just goes to a certain spot.
Well, speaking of going to certain spots, RVSN is almost at 4.
Indeed, it is. Definitely have some size there. We'll see if it slows down. I wouldn't buy that break personally. I feel like this needs to cool off. Tesla, by the way, at lows here. Someone let me know if they see Tesla bouncing. I feel like I'll take this off the screen and miss it, but Tesla's got a bounce coming at some point here today. EV Go, retracing that initial move.
Slow mover, but a great stock. AVAV is pushing up higher over yesterday. So what is this, new all-time highs now? Looks like it. Yeah, looks like it. It's a ripper.
RVSN was rejected there. 396, that high print, really that $4 area.
So it's probably going to come down to about 340, maybe a little bit lower for support, but we'll see if that even happens. It's been strong.
Looking around here, a couple of other things. Tesla, man, more lows here. Apple sold off again. We're having a relatively strong pre-market. VIX looks like that's curling up.
Yeah, I'll take Apple down to fill my orders. Looks like I might be getting that at some point soon. That would be nice. Yeah, this morning volume isn't looking too good with a lot of these. I mean, Rail Vision hit 4 now, so that's really been the only one. Jeez, this thing is just ripping.
I got Tesla on watch, Ryan. I'll let you know if it shakes out. Awesome voodoo, much appreciated there.
And let's see, who was it? Who was it that was worried about 420? Because we might get it in Rail Vision. Wisdom. Watch Rail Vision. You might get that magic number.
Robert mentioning BSFC here. This to me doesn't really look like anything much in here. This is a 11-cent stock. We generally don't deal with stocks like that. I guess if they're really moving on volume, there's really nothing going on here. BSFC as 11-cent stock, it probably is going to face delisting, I would imagine.
There you go. Wisdom, we're hit 420 with Rail Vision and going higher. Next stop I have is 550.
Master service agreement to generate expected 20 million. I don't know. Wake me up when this starts to move. I don't really think there's anything going on here. Appreciate you bringing a new stock here, though. Penny stocks, not the forte. Rail Vision did. Oh my
Yep.
God. Wild stuff.
Don't be on the tracks when this train's coming through.
No, dude. No, definitely not. You get run over in a heartbeat. APM, Wes, this was another good call here this morning. APM actually looking like this is going to try to take that VWAP back. We made one move at it and we're rejected. I'd be interested to see what this next one is. That first move back to the VWAP, that was on your biggest volume stick of the day.
Man, Real Vision going higher still.
CELZ, that was one here from this morning. That's done nothing. That might have bottomed here on CELZ. Looks like that MACD histogram is about to turn, haven't confirmed that yet. STRC, wasn't someone mentioning this earlier here today? This knifed coming back to the VWAP?
I don't know. I think somebody did mention that because yeah, it was hitting the scanners earlier. I don't see it anymore though. So we got a bit of a retreat in Rail Vision after hitting 479, coming down to 420. I don't know if I'd light it yet, but just wait and see what happens with this one. It looks like it could set up to go higher because hey, it's Rail Vision. It does what it wants.
Indeed, it does. I'm going to write an algo that triggers when 13 says the runner of the day is.
Have I said runner of the day before? Which one did I say?
I mean, I feel like we've both said that, right? I mean, we were constantly looking for those.
Oh,
the thing here on Rail Vision, by the way, let's take a look at this chart here real quick. Rail Vision, this did make a move. Looks like it was kind of rejected at the 50-day here. I know I'm trying to make sense of a momentum runner stock here, but maybe if we can get it close above that 200-day, I've got that at $3.95 here, current price $4 on RVSN.
Yeah, this probably will come back down to, well, let's see what happens if it comes down to 350. I mean, it may not even get down there if the buyers come back in, which it looks like they're trying to do, but I think 350 would be a good first spot for a pullback.
Jay, I love it. Someone call the police. Abercrombie & Fitch has a down day, down 2.9% after. I mean, this run is just.
Oh, Brett. Yeah, I said that Real Vision was. I don't know if I said it was going to be an all-day runner or not, but I mean, I said it looked good and it did pretty good. And, hey, you know what? Go ahead, write the algo.
I was going to say there's going to be a delay, so you're going to have an inherent advantage if he does write that algo. Didn't want to say that the first time, but I'll say it now. So just saying that.
Sorry, I'm not taking credit.
Yeah, the 330 break here on Real Vision really sent it.
Yeah.
Bull flag on data. DADA, DADA, data network, data net.
Okay,
Nexus.
yeah, this has a pretty decent setup. The volume needs to pick up though.
Yep. As long as it holds that VWAP here. Bids under this at 260, 59, and 58. What do I have? The high print here of the day, 284. By the way, don't look now. APM list your bottom call on APM. This was great. We are at the VWAP here. Let's see if we actually move through it. Again, just in terms of tactical trading here, I would definitely lighten some at this resistance area. Book some of those gains.
Real Vision back over 4, trying to hold over 4.
APM volume looks good here, but it's stopping here.
I think AISP is trying to find the bottom, but I'm not sure.
Let me flip to that chart here. APM looks like this might have been stopping here at the VWAP again. As far as the bottom goes, I think we've got some more work to do on the MACD histogram to confirm this bottom.
Looks like Real Vision's trying to find the bottom as well. Well, Soundhound completely fell out of bed and going lower. Okay.
Oh my God, big knife from Soundhound away from that VWAP. Good morning, Rustam.
Hey, NKGN that we mentioned earlier, that's the one that, you know, they had the presentation announcement on Monday and no other news. That one's moving up off the lows.
That's NKGN, right? Nancy?
Yes.
King. Yep. Here we go. And we actually just took the VWAP out here on that. Tesla's still pounding the lows, by the way. Hasn't bounced yet.
Oh, wow. Apple is approaching 169.
Yeah, it is. Nice. RVSN, big pullback here real quick on RVSN off those highs. Look at this. Let's see if this actually firms and gives us a trade at the VWAP. Clean rejection on APM at that VWAP. Please, whoever was trading this told me that you booked those gains on that trade. Please. RVSN here. Didn't quite get down to the VWAP. It looks like it's trying to turn around. I'm not sure I buy it yet.
Not looking bad though, but I agree.
Foot Locker down 22% here today. Did they have earnings, Jay? Foot Locker? You mean overpriced shoes aren't popular anymore? Company reported Q4 financial results. Conference call is good. I wonder what came out of this here.
I wonder if international
Here we go, dude. Okay, so FY24 adjusted EPS, the guide here, 150 to 170 versus a 193 estimate. By the way, Haley live on CNBC throwing in the towel, suspending the presidential campaign. That was what we kind of expected. Did that have any impact on DWAC? Let's see.
It's not quite yet. I mean, it is kind of reversing here, but we need to see it move up through VWAP. And maybe get back to 45. Yeah,
maybe this caused DWAC to bottom. I'm still in the camp that this is this was a sell the news, right? And something has got to happen here to really kind of drive this stock. I'm not sure I buy it. DWAC here, this not really reacting to this news yet.
Yeah, NKGN still moving up. We might get some more movement here into the over 150 and into the 160s.
Voodoo, I know you addressed 13, but I'll call this one out because I'll take great calls anytime from our community. This chat community that is a scanner is literally awesome. Tesla's 9 points away from my 165 call. That was just several days ago. That was just several days ago. Rock the Trader mentioning the same tickers that Jay was mentioning earlier. Rum Fun, DWAC, all down here on the Sell the News event. Now, SMCI, Jay, I know you mentioned SMCI here. It's fading. You know what was interesting? We were kind of joking about some of the price targets on SMCI. And of course, this morning we get a new street high price target, $1,350 price target here on SMCI. This stock was $200 several weeks ago. Now it's got $1,350 price targets. AI clearly driving all of that. Jane Smith knows where it's at. One up, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, looks
so,
like
Mark saying that Paul is speaking. Did he start? I'm seeing here that we're actually still waiting. Oh, you know what? Awaiting Fed Chair Powell's question and answer section. Okay. So he probably is talking. They're just waiting on the question and answer. APM might be coming back up to the VWAP there on APM.
It looks like AISP is trying to turn around, but I'm not sure it's got the volume to move up through the levels that it took out on the way down.
You know what I'd really like to see here, 13? I'll just give you the trade plan. This is what I would long this if I saw this candle or whatever candle here moves through VWAP with volume. So you can either watch the time and sales for that volume to kind of flow through, or just simply watch the stick. We move through this VWAP on volume. I think maybe the trend changes here and we can make a move towards some of those pre-market highs, which are decent. These are up at 615. SS, yes, or excuse me, 5 STR BBY, 5-star baby, I think. I'm trying to start trading. Anyone know where I should start learning? Yes, we actually have schools here at Benzinga, a trading school and an option school. So depending on what you're looking to do, we absolutely have that here for you. I would advise that you call in. In fact, I can get you someone's name real quick. I'll get you call my man James here and give you his number. Here, I'm just going to throw this in the chat. Anyone interested in our schools or in Benzinga Pro, you need to talk to my man James there. His direct number in the chat. APM here, flirting with that VWAP. Let's see what happens. See if this actually breaks through it. I'm encouraged to see the volume kind of tick up, but I really want to see a big candle there.
Yeah, where's that volume at? It's going to take quite a bit more shares and getting bought up to get through 370. We're not quite there yet with the volume. Real Vision really wants to take out 420 again. What else? And OCEA, one of the fun ones from yesterday, just not having a good day today.
Nope. Looks like that run might be over. Again, this is another reminder why paying yourself on the way up is so important. I cannot stress enough, and 13, I think that you agree here. I cannot stress enough how hard it is to actually nail bottoms and tops. Sometimes you might do it, but it's really capturing that meat of the move, and the way you don't actually make money until you book some of those gains. It's awesome to be looking at a large unrealized gain, but please understand that you don't actually make money until you book some of that.
Yep. Yeah, just looking for some of these movers to go that we're moving this morning. I mean, it still looks like AISP wants to reverse here, but we need better volume than this. Real Vision bouncing between 385 and 420. I think it might get a breakout here soon.
Okay, let me pull that up here on Rail Vision, ticker RVSN. Oh, 13. I think you called it. Little bit of size here in the 420 handle, 423, 5, and 6. I see it at.
Just need that volume to expand. We can try to get through there.
Pro asking if there's beer at the school.
That would be an awesome school.
There's no beer at the school, but I'm sure you could find a local watering hole to meet your beer needs. What a question. everything on kind of at pause, waiting for Powell to finish, I guess. We've seen this, Mark. We actually talked about this kind of leading up to this day, or these 2 days, excuse me, this week. We've seen that in the past, and we're seeing that again here. Not surprised.
Okay, here we go with Rail Vision. We're trying to push through 420.
There it is. That's that level that you just talked about, 13. Amazing. Yep.
It's still trying. I mean, we got to get some the volume in order to push through these big sell orders. Like right now, there's 2 sell orders that equal about 20,000 shares. So that's that's what we got to push through. That's the volume that we need to start seeing. And
here it comes. Here it comes. 425 and 430 are the spots with volume. Really quickly, Voodoo reminding everybody that there's beer in the happy hour. 13. You always come with a nice frosty mug to the happy hour. It's great.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, when I have good days selling some long-term positions, it's always nice to crack a beer.
RVSN up at that 430 spot. Looks like they're taking it here. They took it, but it came back in. They might be refilling that. Jay here saying, Ryan agrees, sell strength. It gives you dry powder too to add lower. I'm looking to add back to lift. So again, you're talking about the same name here, and that's something else to consider. If you realize that one of the names that you're watching or you're trading, one of your core positions is making these patterns, trading around your core position is really, really smart. And booking some of those gains on the way up can actually give you more dry powder to add if that stock comes in. By the way, APM here being rejected again at its VWAP. Look at this. This is when you, again, gotta be able to listen to what the chart is telling you. The chart is telling you there's resistance here at that VWAP. Gotta be able to sell some there. If it goes through, okay, leave a trailer on if you think that's going to happen, I suppose. JD has been strong all day today. That moving towards the highs. Check back in on Real Vision.
Oh, geez, just as I said, DADA, it's starting to break through VWAP here.
Shit, I have this pushing away from VWAP on Dada.
And we're going to get EMAs crossing VWAP too. So that's, a good sign that we might be going higher here. Rail Vision is holding above 420. That's good. Kind of needs to do that if we're going to go to 550.
Mark saying this bull flag ended up resolving. Indeed, right? This nice little push up, retrace kind of flag in here. Bang. Now we're pushing away from that. Good call, Mark.
It's in the process of resolving. It's looking good so far. I want to see it fully resolve and get through 283. That'd be awesome. That'd be super awesome.
I'm just looking around at some of the other stuff here.
NKGN still looking like it wants to go higher. You could probably draw a trend line from the top of pre-market all the way through these peaks that they've had. Let's see. We could just call that the breakout level. There you go. Wow. Okay. So we're just going to need to break out of that downtrend. If you draw a trend line from the 190 top we had this morning, all through the top of the wicks that we've had with the pops in pre-market and this morning in regular session, we're about to break that trend line.
And this is on NKGN, right?
Yes, sir.
So here you go. Let me see if I can actually draw that here and trade the pool. I wonder if I can. This is, I'm kind of eyeballing it here, but
it's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I put it right here. There you go on that. Oh, wisdom. Ryan, I have a new way to trade. I bang my head on the keyboard and pick the first 4 symbols and pick it as my trade. Makes sense to me. Wisdom, that's not a good, wisdom. You've got more wisdom than that. You don't want to be doing that. Jay saying Bitcoin up 4,400 points and Mara is red. That divergence, not great. This is another reason why I say that some of these connections here are dubious, or I'm skeptical of some of them. Sometimes they work, other times they don't work all that well. And today we're seeing an inverse correlation here. I guess maybe it's intraday. I don't know though. All right, Voodoo, living up to what I asked you to do. I can't appreciate that. I appreciate that quite a bit. I beg your pardon. Tesla here. Tesla trying to find intraday support at 173.50-ish. Looks like that's kind of where we came down here. Money flow suggests it might not hold that level. Okay, so it looks like this is giving you some type of bounce level yet. You're telling you that the money flow indicator here is telling you that this might not hold. So let's actually see if that comes in a little bit more. You got about $1.50 away from that 173.50 spot that you mentioned.
NKGN is moving up, and it's trying to take out this wall at 158. If successful, this thing could probably get moving pretty good here.
That's also where I have the trend line. There it goes, 162 now. Crow saying NKGN is going to break those pre-market highs. We've got those up here at 190. Mm-hmm. Here we go. This looks like a good call here. Look at chat on it again, dude. Chat. Oh, man.
Yeah, but we identified the trend line that we needed to break, and lo and behold, it is broken.
We out here identifying everything. We're identifying stocks, trend lines, levels, Powell. I mean, the whole 9 yards.
Identifying Powell. That's
a
scary prospect.
I mean, Jay Pow. I mean, who knows?
Good job, Wisdom. He's snatching up profits with Palantir. I'm just saying, Good job. Just giving the kudos. Soundhound tried to come back up to the 515 level. It did and got rejected.
This NKGN call, you guys absolutely crushed it. You guys absolutely crushed that.
It was a good setup. It had all the hallmarks.
You know what I like the most, though? There was a little period there where we didn't really find setups. Kind of felt like things were waiting or things were running like RVSN. Patience. Waited till we found the setup. Bang, hit it. That's what I like to see.
We pulled it off legal bank.
I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to agree with that, Crow. That's got danger written all over it. Smoking Crow.
Yeah, NKGN going higher.
Thank you, 13, meaning thank you. Big teddy bear and AK under your hat.
Oh,
Wisdom's got the jokes here today. Anne-Marie, professional options trader here. Patience is the secret sauce in every trader's strategy. By the way, shout out to Anne-Marie. Did launch a new show Tuesdays and Fridays right after this show. You want to learn how to mitigate your risk and trade some more advanced option strategies from the pro herself. Join me and Anne-Marie. We have a good time. Anne-Marie, it's great to see you here today. Thanks for your support.
Absolutely. And if you're looking to learn more about options, I certainly need to definitely check that out. Looks like we have AISP also trying to make a recovery here.
Let me bring that up here. I want to address Daniel's comment here. Daniel Perez-Paul saying this chat should be open all day long. So here's one of the things I will say about the Benzinga chat. I actually noticed yesterday, while Anne-Marie and I were talking about options, there were several of you that actually hung around and were still calling moves. I believe DTSS was one of the stocks that went yesterday after we got off the air, but the chat was still in there. Daniel, I'm going to open invitation. You are welcome to hang out in the Benzinga chat anytime that you want. If you're out here talking stocks, setups, trading, we'd love to have you. Doesn't matter what show's going on. We'll focus on the show's content during that time. But man, you're always welcome to participate in that chat.
Just a quick mention. We're seeing some of these morning movers that we were mentioning start to curl. IFBD, maybe MEDS, AISP. Those are all curling off of after selling off. We have NKGN that's still trying to push to new highs. I think was that Crow that said that it's probably going to pre-market highs. It's certainly looking like it at the moment. I don't think Soundhound really is turning around. I think this is more bear flagging. So I'd be careful with Soundhound. And that's basically what I've got for the moment.
I'm with you on Soundhound, by the way. This looks to me like a 5 test coming here. It's only at 510. That's not the greatest call here. There is some support on the bid there at 5, but this chart definitely looks bearish here. And by the way, I know we were just talking about APM on that curl back to the VWAP. This chart now looking bearish. We'll see if this actually gets any type of support at the intraday low. This was a great call identifying that reversal to the upside. and hopefully took gains right there at VWAP, or at least partial gains. CELZ was another one from this morning. Sorry, 13. CELZ is another one from this morning. This was really, really disappointing.
Yeah, and Marie's saying it's totally a wiggle Wednesday. I haven't heard wiggle Wednesday before, but I can see how that works. So everything's just moving around so much.
All right, so I'll help you with the story here real quickly. Wiggle Wednesday. This actually comes from our chat. Several years ago, we actually had a chatter in here. I believe her name was Jessica. She dubbed Wednesdays Wiggle Wednesdays. And ever since that, we've seen a lot of kind of shenanigans on Wednesdays. Jessica, if you're out there, hope you're doing well. Looks like your influence is still shining here, as we're still calling Wednesdays Wiggle Wednesdays here. Anne-Marie likes it. Voodoo likes it. Boom.
Well, don't look now, but NKGN knocking on the door of the pre-market highs and through big time. Big time.
Crow, guess what?
And it's probably going to halt.
This is going to halt up here. Crow, nice level, nice call there. Nice level up. Office assistant, please stop trying to hunt the bird.
Okay, it didn't halt. It's going higher. I don't have levels for this one. I should probably start marking those off. I just didn't think this one would do what it's doing today.
Okay. Okay. Let me catch up here. Sorry. I looked away for a sec there. NKGN crushing still in. I thought Wednesday was Prince Spaghetti Day for you old timers.
Prince Spaghetti Day. Oh, man.
You know, it's funny, Jay. I actually thought I was old. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but
I'd like
one
to
of the
know
other old timers gets it. Oh, Voodoo. You guys are the best.
I'd like to know more about the Prince Spaghetti. My youngest is a pasta aficionado, so I think I need to know more about that.
Aficionado. I just realized Ryan has a four-legged office assistant. That's who it was, and a two-legged one. Bird, but they don't interact well together.
We already have Powell coming out with the comments.
All right, guess what? Rate cuts will depend on the path of the economy. Sounds like he's going to be data dependent, like you said from the very beginning, 13.
Yep. Now NKGN is halted.
Here's the actual quote. Fed's Powell says rate cuts will depend on the path of the economy. Incoming data will determine when rate cuts begin. That's exactly what 13 said this morning. We would like to have more confidence on inflation. We have some confidence, but we want more. That actually sounds like a Trump comment. Let's see a little bit more data so we can become confident.
He says strength.
I don't know. That couldn't have been more perfect, 13.
Here's the thing that I was mentioning, in previous days. This most recent one here, Fed Chair.
Let's go.
Fed Chair Powell says strength of economy and labor market means we can approach that carefully, thoughtfully. So he's saying the economy, this whole huge thing, and then the labor market. That sounds like a point in the direction of the jobs report to me.
Yeah, no, and kudos, because you've been saying that for a while too.
I'll
tell you what, it seems like one of two things is happening. Either our community, the happy hour and the live trading chat, are just ahead of everybody, and there are spies in there getting it from us, or we're just doing such a good job of interpreting the data and then coming up with sensical predictions. The Fed seems behind on everything. They seem behind on the way up, behind on the way down. I'd rather listen to our community on that. Good grief is right, Anne-Marie. Good grief. He says a lot without really saying anything. That's a skill from what I've heard.
Oh, good job. Thanks, Smoke Tuna. But hey, are you picking that up, or did you trade it? Because it's looking like it wants to try to return to 8.
That's AISP that you're talking about here. Same deal here with the VWAP. We want to close on a candle above the VWAP. So far, this is using it as resistance.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. So if we can get through that, then I think 8's going to happen. But need a little bit more strength in this. A little more volume. What's interesting is ever since the
the presidential announcements came across the news feed, we did go up a little bit in DWAC, and we're still holding these levels. It's looking like this could be turning around, but I'm not going to say that it is, because this is such a spready, crazy stock. I don't know what it's going to do sometimes.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I'm not sure. This might just be trading action turning it around, right? This might not be. What is Office? He's just staring. Bex wants to check out EVA. Bex, I know you had called that earlier here.
APM. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to stick with this for a sec here. Bex, the first move that you called this, I actually brought this up, but I didn't say anything about it. It did come back to the VWAP. Look at this. Several VWAP tests here. Now we actually took out highs, pre-market highs. This thing looking good here. I know it's only $1 stock, but this really off that 90 level, pretty good. And now APM, as you were just mentioning, APM's through that VWAP. So here we go on volume, right?
It's got to get through this this pre-market supply zone that we have here from about 420 to, let's call it 520. That dollar range there is probably where it's going to get some trouble pushing through. But this volume that it's getting right now is great. If this continues to expand, it might get a little bit higher through that supply zone.
Coming back in towards that VWAP. I agree, by the way, that the supply zone, really the sideways range that we're taking a look at here.
IFBD might be next.
This volume stick getting really, really encouraging here. This is going to end here in 3 seconds. Second highest volume stick of the day in that little window that to take us above the VWAP there. I like that. IFBD, you said going next here. Infobird.
It's trying there. We're coming right up to the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. I have the VWAP after that. This could be one of those trades where it's just going to pop up the VWAP, and then maybe it doesn't get over that, or it comes back in a little bit. But I think the trade that we have setting up here is to the move up to VWAP.
Okay.
So that would be something that we could possibly see. Don't know that it will. The volume's not great at the moment in that one.
APM really starting to accelerate now, and you can tell by the volume. Okay, so we'll see where this candle closes here. Volume is still looking good here. I'm actually looking at the time and sales as well. Lots of orders flowing through here on APM. Wiss, this was a great call.
Yep.
We're going to give you a cash register ring for that one. Here we go. Back to the VWAP.
AISP went up to its VWAP and came back in, but it's getting support. So that's good. If we're looking for AISP to get back to 8, like I was mentioning earlier, we want it to hold these levels here, especially this level that it's got a big support wall at 737. That falls down, then we're probably going under 720.
Setups I love. We'll see if AISP can actually get through the VWAP. So far, it's using that VWAP as a test. And I'd be careful of trying to trade that on a VWAP break because you don't want to get trapped. Admiral Akbar would be extremely disappointed. APM coming back to the VWAP here. Let's see if this holds. Wiss, I hope that you were able to book your gains on that one.
Meds is trying to make it its way through VWAP right now. MEDS. This is the one we couldn't pronounce its company name. I don't know about sells. Again, with the volume in this one, it's not going to be able to push through the VWAP and EMAs that it has above it, the price right now, unless we get some more volume. So, but it's holding these levels, so that's encouraging. But it needs volume more than anything.
I got out on that spike. That's what I love to see here. You can get another register ring for you, Wiss. APM now breaking beneath that VWAP. Meds still want to see what happens here at this test. Remember, Meds thin. There's a thin name here. And around here, looks like Apple has put in its intraday bottom. So it looks like maybe this is we'll see if this breaks a little bit more here. 169, that bottom here on Apple.
Yeah, maybe with RVSN. I mean, it looks like it's getting some support, but the volume again pretty low right now. Yeah, let's see what else is working here. Looks like Meds couldn't get over the VWAP and stay over that quite yet. Some of these just look like they want to go, like APGE. That one's starting to move, and this is this was from yesterday. APGE. Yeah,
this one had a huge gap up yesterday, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about this one is if you look at what the price action was yesterday, it's coming back up to those levels, and we got one rejection already this morning. We're coming back up to that level again pretty soon. I have to think at some point, if we keep trying to hammer this what is it, $65 level, that we'll eventually go through it. So maybe keep APG on your radar. Looks like APM still trying to hold over 4. Well, it's not really working out right now.
RVSN breaking down from its VWAP. This is worth watching if it holds above it, but with the way it's breaking down, I'm not too sure. APM looks like it's so far back tested that VWAP level. Just actually took out some size. It's a bid there at 4. A little bit of a bid beneath that as well.
AISP is looking pretty good. Keeps hammering that VWAP level, and if we get the volume, it's going to break through it.
770 has the size there. 770 has the size.
Well, I think there's I think it could eat that pretty easily. I think the big one to worry about is 777 and 778. There's about 33,000 shares there that need to get taken out.
Thank you guys. Great day. See you in the AM. Brett, take care of yourself, man. Thanks for joining us here today. Hopefully you had a nice, profitable green day. We'll be right back at this again tomorrow. You know that. IFBD breaking VWAP. Cleo, what do you think of InfoBird? You like InfoBird? Yeah? he went cheap. So
yes, he did.
Yeah, there we go. You like InfoBird, huh? Okay, let's take a look at InfoBird. Let's see if the actual bird gives us a trade and a stock with bird in it. IFBD.
Looks like APM is going to try to push higher here still.
Actually, Cleo might be onto something. InfoBird looking like it's trying to take out 7 and move to that VWAP at 735. Soundhound
also back up to VWAP. That had a nice recovery after hitting just above 5.
Oh, sure did. Look at that. That's just pretty much retraced that knife down that we had when we fell off from that VWAP.
APM seems like it's getting the volume. It looks like it wants to try to take out that pre-market supply zone.
CETX, this was from the list earlier. This new highs here, CETX. Boy, I took this off my radar when the volume dried up. As soon as it poured back in, this thing moved. CETX. APM, this is doing a really good job holding above. This is what I was talking about. When we move through VWAPs, we want to have this type of action, right? We want to back test it, hold it, maybe consolidate, shake out some of those people Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just what Smoke Tuna and the Crow are saying is what I was wowing about. NKGN, it came out of the halt and blasted off, and now it's getting taken down.
This is one of these. No. I actually halt resume. That was the first halt of the day there for that one. Okay.
Mark, you were looking at Rail Vision.
Oh, look, Vink is back.
Oh, well,
Vink is back, and this is still at the highs. I think Lynn and Randy were trading Vink not long ago, if I'm not mistaken.
CELZ might be trying to push. Again, the volume in this thing is not great.
Yeah,
the setup looks pretty good. So if the volume suddenly pours in, it's probably breaking the VWAP. But again,
all right, so AISP backed off that 775 spot that we were just taking a look at. I kind of like it right here. If it just doesn't really break down anymore, I would say, God, I really don't want this to break down much past 730. Here we are. It just went through 730. God, that's all I had to do was talk about it. I'm glad I didn't buy it. All I had to do was talk about it. Damn.
If it passes the talk test, then you know to get it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. If it can hold.
And NKGN going back up. What a crazy stock this one.
Yeah, this one is. Good volume here, by the way, recently in NKGN.
And that's the important thing. Look at that volume. That's what's making it break those levels.
All about the volume. And by the way, APM, very similar story here, right? We had a little bit of this volume early on, but then it kind of dried up a little. But now we're getting a little bit more concentrated volume. See if APM takes the next leg here.
Yeah, if APM can hold these levels here, between 365 and we'll call it 380. If it can just hold that area and stay above it, This could set up to take out the 450 level that it got rejected at about 10 minutes ago.
So EVA, this was a call earlier by Bex. This actually came back in a little bit. This looking like it's making a run back towards the highs there, 119. I know it's a low price stock here. Definitely some size there at 119 and 120, a little bit above.
Infobird,
sorry, the Infobird curl not really materializing anymore. Let's check SoundHound for you. That's right at that VWAP decision point coming here on SoundHound.
Yeah.
AV getting another mention here. That's the best in breed for drone. That stock goes up every day. Stock goes up every day.
Yeah, I'm still. I mean, I know I shouldn't, but I still kick myself for not taking a longer position for a longer period of time. I just didn't realize that they were the best in breed for drones. I thought they were just one company that the military was tapping for drone production.
Yeah, it took me too long to realize that they were the best in breed,
Yep. But oh well, then we just move on to something else.
Mark's asking, did you guys enter anything today? Yeah, I was goofing around with Tesla a little bit in the pre-market before we got on. I missed AISP today, although I hit that yesterday. I missed APM today. 13, what were you in here today?
I've been trading APM, SoundHound, Rail Vision. I have a position in meds. I'm trying that one right now. And I think I also tried AISP. I'm flat on that one. I didn't get anything.
Okay.
With that one.
Anne Marie, the ticker for the drone stock is AVAV. That's Alpha Victor.
All right. I think meds is getting going here. Needs a little bit more volume, but it's got a nice move through the VWAP, at least my VWAP, and we're about to get some EMA crossings here. So this could get going here if the volume starts to come in some more. SoundHound trying to push through.
This VWAP test is where it's at here for me on meds. Oh my God, look at NKTX and Carta. Really good looking daily chart here.
What kind of volume are you looking at with the SPY? 12 million. That's not bad. I mean, that's more than some other days we've had.
Paul's still talking, by the way. In fact, let me take a look here at the news feed. Paul says we need to assess impact of Basel III for other regulatory rules. Pandemic may have changed in a sustained way how to target inflation. Basel III proposal.
I wish you would elaborate on that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there is. See, here's the thing. I can't hear it, so I'm just looking at the chyrons and I'm getting the headlines here. Mm-hmm. If you actually click on these, it links you to the actual speech there. Fed Chair Powell expects broad material changes to Basel III proposal. More important to get it right than to do it fast. Will have implications for the economy. We need to get these rules right. Okay. It looks like he's leaving himself some room there.
Yeah. Yep. APM, I think it's still in play here. The volume isn't bad in this, and it looks like it wants to push up more.
Yeah, I would watch that 420 area. That still seems to be it.
I already know wisdom is. Sorry, that was a joke.
No. I actually now you guys are making me want to try this here.
I'm not making you do anything.
No, I know you're not making me. You're making me want to.
See, wisdom. He heard the magic number. Yes, it's 420. We're breaking
and look, and it just went through it. It went through it. Okay, but
talk more, Ryan. Talk more.
Back to it. Pressure's on now, baby. Pressure's on. It's really kind of holding around this 420 level. Here's the thing. We got VWAP at 373. See how it's kind of spreading out here a little bit? That's where I want to add. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put in a little bit of maybe like a stink bit here at 405 and see if I get filled. I don't want to do a round number. Oh, there it goes. Just blasted off. That might have been too late on that one. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Should have bought the upside break. I guess 480 highs here. This thing really starting to spread out. Coming back in now. Wow. Well, what kind of volume? Yeah, good volume there. That's what took it there. Go big, Ryan. You guys are just trying to get me to trade outside of what I normally do here now. Now I see what the game is. I see what the game is. It's hard enough. It's hard enough screen sharing for two and flipping around between all these tickers. Now you want me to go big on some stuff on an upside break, which hasn't really worked.
Well, it's making its way. I think it does want 5. We got to get through 475. It's taking it out right now, or working on it. But if it gets rejected here at 475, then we're probably coming back down to maybe we might be going under 4 if it gets rejected. Okay.
Yeah, let's see where this pullback stops. This sure feels like 5 coming here. That's all I had to do was keep talking. 13. We went right to 5 and above. 520, your high print here. Got to be lightning on APM. Whis, this was a monster. You called this one earlier on just the curl. Now we're actually getting a VWAP push. Multiple trades here on APM here today. Great job, Whis. Mark, hope you hit this one.
Smoke Tuna mentioning Rail Vision. It's trying to recover off the bottom. It's got to get through VWAP, and it's looking a little.
APM's going to halt. APM's going to halt. Sorry, go ahead with Rail Vision. I brought it up.
Boom! It went. APM went right through that 5. Oh man, we threw all that pre-market. Great job with APM. Soundhound, is that the one I was talking about? Or no, Rail Vision. Rail Vision, back up to its VWAP that I have on my chart. The volume is not too bad, so it could push through, but it's got some pretty big size at 375 that needs to get through.
And it's also got a little bit more size there at 370. We are at the VWAP here. After just watching what happened in APM, do I buy this? Do I buy this break here? Actually,
I don't give trading advice.
No, I understand that. That's not. You know what? I'm actually just gonna do it. Let's see if we get filled here. 300 shares looking to buy here. 355. See if I get filled there. Bang, filled. So let's see if we can now move through here on Rail Vision. Now that I bought, though, we're probably going to sell off to those lows, right? And that's all we have to do.
I'm just kidding. I'm not in Rail Vision right now.
Wisdom, dude. Go huge. Dude, I went 300 shares. I'm not going huge at all.
Looks like Soundhound could be setting up to take the next leg higher. Should see some movement, well, we need to get some volume in this, but should see some movement in meds pretty soon. We're about to get an EMA crossing VWAP. If that doesn't materialize with some movement, then I'm gonna just be done with that one.
Yes, APM is halted, yes. And yes, I'm looking to scalp off this VWAP push here, Jay. Yes, and yes, 344 stop. In fact, I'll actually put that out there.
So NKGN, it looks like it's setting up to go higher.
Boom.
If it can hold above 2, we'll probably see 3.
I got the VWAP at 194 on NKGN.
Yeah, Med's just it hasn't had volume since the open. So
no, and it's really struggled with that VWAP, which I'm hoping is not going to be the case for RVSN.
But then some contrarians going to come in and bid it up.
Oh, look at your AV more highs here, 13.
Oh, stop it. You know I wanted to be in this one, but I'm not chasing it. There's plenty of other things to be in anyway that are going to be good. So, one day we'll find the next big industry mover.
RVSN looked like it was trying to go there, and it just pulled right back. Let's see if it can get above that VWAP. I got to stop just in case that doesn't work. Doesn't even matter.
What's your stop at?
344, right beneath the bidder. That's at 345.
Okay.
Oh, man, stretch feels good. Voodoo, still looking at Tesla. Let's pull that up here and go over Tesla. Ryan, Tesla pushed through VWAP, touched the 65 EMA, but money flow is weak. I wouldn't take a position either way right now. If it can revisit intraday, 181.58 maybe, if it can get to 181. So you're basically, your trade entry there is effectively based off of the money flow indicator, correct, Voodoo? By the way, oh man, APM still halted. We'll wait and see what happens when that opens up here. Is RVSN going to work?
It's still holding.
Still holding above there. We shall see.
NKGN breaking down to VWAP.
Let me pull that up here real quick. Stop set on Rail Vision, so if that doesn't work, no big deal. NKGN here.
Mm-hmm. If it doesn't reverse here, then it's likely going lower to about 175. Looking through all these other ones, nothing yet.
Barat asking about PLTR, which we definitely took a look at here earlier. That looks like it's trying to come back to the VWAP here on Palantir. I know we both wanted that in the low 20s. Is that doing a good job here, or doing a good job holding up here after confirmation of that contract?
Well, we keep talking about how we're looking for a pullback in the SPY or a correction. I think that Palantir is going to be a big target of mine if we do get that corrective move. I've been reading into some more of the company, what they do, and what their margins are great, and they're getting they're making a lot of money, a lot of sales revenue, and it just looks like it's going to be good in the future.
Wisdom saying a correction is coming from Palantir. Let me tell you something, Wisdom. If that ends up happening, that might be time to add down there, longer term swing.
Yeah, I welcome that.
Oh no, smoke tuna. No, it's just a joke. I mean, here's the reality, and I would challenge any of you to try this. Reality is that when I'm doing this like live, like I am thinking and focusing about so many different things. By the way, stopped out of Rail Vision, APM up out of the halt, although that's coming back in. Tuna, it's more of just kind of like a joke, right? Like it just kind of seems like that. Like you'll notice I'm often late to some of these because I'm flipping around on a bunch of those. Yeah, Mark, you can see it right here in the screen. The position disappeared. RVSN. And then actually when I go to the chart here, if I zoom in, make it a little bit clearer, you can actually see entry is where the green arrow is, exit is where the red arrow is. This actually continuing lower from that stop here. So your first stop is your best stop. We were hoping for the same type of move on a push away from the VWAP that we just got on APM. Didn't get it. No big deal here. Like I was saying about these upside breaks here, there's a time when these work more. Cleo agrees.
I think we're getting a breakout here with APM. We're going to break over 6 if we keep this volume up.
You guys mentioned Adobe early on. Any updates to Adobe? Good question here. Let's take a look. ADBE.
That fight at 6. Sorry, I'm just looking at APM, and there's a battle for 6 right now.
Yeah, here. Let me flip over to that real quick. And here's the thing about this 6 battle. This was your pre-market high, your 630, your pre-market high in here. I think this is going to be tested. I think this is going to be tested.
It broke, and now it's coming back in. But we got up to, what is it, 625? No, 621, sorry.
621. Okay, let me go back. Let's take a look here at Adobe. I'll bring up that full chart here that we took a look at earlier. And I'll show you what we were watching for. To answer your question, there is not necessarily going to be an update, because what I'm watching for here is, do we actually close above this 200-day? That's the blue line that you see here on this daily chart. You saw the last time that we came down here, we closed above it and we bounced, but that bounce was very, very short-lived. In fact, we didn't even test that 100 or that 50-day moving average, and we're already right back down to the 200. So I like this if this is able to hold, but honestly, it's, I don't know if it's going to have the strength to hold right here. So this is kind of what I'm watching. How does the price behave around this 200-day? Now, 13, I believe earlier you said if this continues to break down, sooner rather than later, we're actually going to have a death cross in this, right? We're going to have this 50-day cross, and beneath that 200-day, that will be a very bearish signal if this doesn't hold up. Mark saying, Ryan, sorry, I used your stop as entry on RVSN. No problem, man. No reason to apologize. Hopefully you end up making some money off of that one.
Med's getting the mention here, and yeah, it's starting to move up through. Here we go. We're getting going here with Meds.
Let's take a look here at Meds. Let me flip back here.
Oh my gosh, what a great, that trade worked out good. After all, I was getting ready to sell that soon.
This is why you wait. This is why I had that in there for RVSN, because this is we've watched 3 of these stocks do this exact same test. The one I traded is the one that didn't work out.
Yep, right up to
that's how it goes. And now RVSN is going. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Well, it's okay. You know what? It's right back to the VWAP. Let's see what happens this time, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good. This volume's, if it can maintain this volume, we're going, I think we're going back to 385. But it's got to get to that 375. See that big size there of 20,000 shares it needs to get through.
Tuna's saying that Bull's moving from APM to Meds, maybe.
And now Meds is halted.
Halted to the upside.
So if that's, what he's saying is absolutely the case, and we continue to see this volume expansion, 17 is the next level I have. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but the setup's there.
Ricky Zen saying smash the like button. Would really appreciate that, Ricky. Thanks very much.
Look at never mind. We already saw that move in APM. Never mind.
Meds halted here. Should be a 10-minute halt. And stick around, because in about 6 minutes, we're actually going to have Zunaid jump on. So stick around for that. I'm going to pass it over to Zunaid for his future show.
NKGN and CELZ look like they're getting ready to go in light of Meds halting.
Here is NKGN off that VWAP.
Yeah, it's starting to move a little bit. The next level I have, if it can hold this 225 level, is 245. And it looks like if we get some volume expansion in CELZ, it's going to break through VWAP.
This thing has been pitiful volume all day on CELZ.
Mm-hmm. And some of these have been for a while, and we keep mentioning it just needs the volume expansion. Just needs the volume expansion. And as soon as we start seeing that, the thing takes off. So just look for the move, the change in volume, and you could start to see the stock price hit your targets.
All about the volume, my man. All about the volume.
Rail Vision's trying to break through VWAP still. The volume isn't as great as it was, but if we see it expand, it could do better. The thing is that this is kind of coming down into more of a bear flag formation. So I'm not 100% sure about Rail Vision.
Right back down to where I was stopped. Mark, hopefully you booked those gains on that move up. INOD actually moving up today. Wow. Tesla, so Voodoo, I know you were talking about the money flow here in Tesla. Now we did bounce off that level. What was this? 173. Did bounce off that level here, but we've really kind of slowed down here at 178 on Tesla. Of course not. Oh, Mark.
BYSI,
you got a good sense of humor. That's what I will say that.
I'm just reading what Smoke Tuna was saying. BYSI setting up.
Yep. So remember, we saw this one push early, actually took a second leg back down here at VWAP. Same deal. As always, though, all going to be about the volume here.
I don't know anything about BYSI. I'm curious why it seems to be holding 350 so well. Any ideas?
Let me pull that up here in Pro. BYSI here. We don't have anything new here in terms of a catalyst.
Bye, Wisdom.
Take care of yourself, Wisdom. Great to see you here this morning. Have a good day.
And a good 420. All right. Looks like Rail Vision is about to make the move through VWAP here.
BYSI clinical stage biopharma, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry, what ticker? RVSN?
RVSN. It's trying to make its way through. It's having a hard time getting through 370 because there's a good size sell order there. But just looking to see if we can break that here. This is the second attempt in the past 10 minutes.
It is still stopping up there. 370, 375. Got to be that stopping point in RVSN. Yeah, 375.
Yeah, now it's getting rejected. See, I mean, I don't want to say that it's over because we still need to break down below some levels, but the volume needs a little bit more expansion to get through some of these larger walls of sell orders. I still think CELZ will make a breakout through that VWAP if it can get that volume expansion. It's holding these levels down here, and it keeps trying to attack the VWAP. So possibly
RVSN still. So adding lower seems to be the move there. Waiting for that pop back up here. APM didn't quite get to that VWAP, but that looks to be popping here.
APGE looks like it's trying to make new intraday highs. And then we also have a mention from Ricky Zen in Living Focus saying that Nikki Haley exit Republican presidential race. Let's see if DWAC has any moves for us.
Yeah, no, we looked at that earlier. DWAC, this has definitely been a sell the news event so far. This is near the lows.
Now, remember, this isn't the end for DWAC, in my opinion. We're probably going to end up selling off a little bit here on some of this news, and I have levels of where this could end up. But that just means we're going to transition from the primaries to the general election, and I think we'll start to see more price action with DWAC fund and all the ilk.
Yeah, we're so early on in this election cycle. That's definitely not over. Daniel wants to take a look at SoFi here. This looks like it's rebounding off of its most recent pull. This looks like this is actually coming off a support level around 7 here.
I'm seeing a lot of selling right now.
Just across the board?
Across the board of some of the things that we've been trading today, like Hollows selling off, Soundhound. Well, it was selling off. It's still holding. DADA not looking good. APM kind of selling off, but this looks like it's more of it's kind of like a flagging selling off. It might be setting up once it gets down to, let's say, about 470-ish, maybe 480, somewhere around in there. It could find some support from that pre-market supply area, now turned demand zone. So that'd be one thing to watch for in APM. But yeah, a lot of these are selling off. I mean, look, now APM starting to accelerate down to the downside more. Hey, Zunaid, how you doing?
What up? What's going on, my man? Sorry, I don't know if I was supposed to bring you on or what the deal was.
But I like to have the ego and just bring myself on.
You like to just make sure that the haircut's all like lined up and everything's ready to go. What do we got going on in futures?
Man, we've got you got the pop that you saw, and then we got here. Let me go ahead and bring up a couple of charts. That'd be nice if I went ahead and showed you guys that. Let's see, and then you guys can go ahead and hop off. But here's what's going on. So you had this is a trade that I was looking at earlier. You see a little line here, but I've got a trade looking to enter on the NASDAQ E-mini futures at the 18051, basically right around VWAP. If we can get a bounce, that would be great. But for now, we continue to keep on marching, test the resistance area possibly that we had earlier at 9:30 at the market open. So that's one of the things that I'm looking at, but hopefully you guys had a profitable trading session earlier.
Sure did.
Yeah, we did. I was a little light because I was behind on flipping back through some of these, but we were able to make some money here. Great calls by the chat as always. Tons of stuff identified here today. By the way, I'll leave you with this AISP through the VWAP. Zunaid, have a great show. We'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate you, 13. Appreciate you, Ryan. And what is going on, chat? If it's your first time here, we trade futures on this show, but we don't discriminate. We also go ahead and take a look at stocks. We also go ahead and take a look at a couple of options. Anything else that you want me to take a look at on the chart side of things, we go ahead and do that as well. And of course, if you wanted to go ahead and get your own futures funded account, right? If you wanted to go and pass through the eval side of things, make sure you go ahead and head over to ATF.com. Right now, they've got 71% off of evals and 3 days to pass. So instead of 7 days, it's only 3 days. So make sure you go ahead and check them out. And I think they also have $35 resets. So it's better than the half price that we've got shown down there. But of course, if you do go ahead and do it, you would help us out if you go ahead and just use the promo code FEVER. That way they like me promoting their stuff because I actually do go ahead and use it. And let me go back to my own screen here so I can show you. Where is it? There we go. So here's my, this is now a funded account, right? So you see PA. So it is a funded account. And you can see that by the time I do the show next week, I will have 4 more funded accounts because I am past the $3,000 eval side of things as well. So right now we've got 1 funded that we're going to trade with here today. Next week, I'm going to have at least 5, assuming I trade responsibly. Let's go ahead and check out what we've got on the NQ. So like I was telling Ryan, this is like the trend line that I currently have, right? So we can go. So here's a trend line. You had 1 bounce here. And then you had 2 bounce here. And then we almost had ourselves another bounce. But so far, it kind of held at this level right over here. So that's what we're kind of playing off of. And then you can see the level that I have right here because of this on February 12th, that ended up being resistance as the market went ahead and opened. And you saw a little bit of a tick down from there, and then you kind of come on back down. Quantum, like reading reviews on prop firms on Trustpilot. Yeah, it's interesting because there's so many things that I've realized as I've gotten older is that when things don't go some people's way, especially if they're in the wrong, they just like to go ahead and complain about it. But which is why I'm happy to kind of be a part of this, because once I get paid out, which I really hope is going to be by the end of March, assuming I go ahead and make enough money with it, I can share the fact that I got paid out. I know there are many people that got paid out as well. Matter of fact, we've got a couple of guests coming on in future shows. We just connected yesterday with her. Hopefully we'll have her on next week. So I don't want to promise anything just yet because I haven't got her permission, but totally hear you, Quantum. I just love the fact that it's inexpensive to get an eval account so that you can get in the habit of just trading and not really have the emotional stress of, oh my God, I'm losing 400 or 500. You know what I mean? I think I paid about $20 for the eval account, paid about $100 for the funded account after I passed the eval. So I'm looking at about $150 to be able to trade the way that I want to. I appreciate it, Ricky. You can go ahead and smash the like for me, Ryan 13, and everybody else that kind of makes this show a success. All right, so here's what we've got. By the way, I need to ask Feehan if he released our show with AB and I already or not. I'm not sure if he did, but anyway, we'll wait for this to go ahead and come on down to the 18051 area. If it does, we'll go ahead and get in. We'll risk about $365. We'll look to make 500, and we'll see how that ends up going. Again, if I lose money, I'm losing it right in front of you, right? Again, this is a funded account, so it's not my real money, if you will, but it is something that will go ahead and get me paid if I get to 53,000. I go ahead and cash out, so on and so forth. I'm going to quickly go ahead and take a look at Apple because I tweeted about this a while back. This was kind of funny. I'm a funny guy. I'm a pretty funny guy. So you can see how you had support being held, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I went ahead and tweeted this. Shout out to Options Mafia on Twitter. Great guy. But I said, if we break this and we see flow come in, call grandma, buy puts. So pretty much that support, as you can see, many times turned into resistance, and then to the downside we moved. I mean, that's like what oh shit, it's all the way down there now. That's a $10 move. That's a $10 move. Or I would have probably been risking $2. Not gonna lie to you, right? So $2 here, and then you go ahead and have a beautiful move to the downside. So that's one way that I played Apple, and now we'll see if this 169 ends up holding on as support or not, or if we go ahead and try to claim the pre-market highs to the upside. Quantum, I don't know. I don't think it's billions. Definitely millions, no question about it, but definitely not billions. All right. Let's go and take out the ES. What do we have here? Did that ever end up being resistance? It kind of did. Yeah, it kind of came back and then. What time was that at? 9:30 right at market open. Then we went back and tested it. That would have been down. So you've got a bit of a wick here happening. We'll see if it will come back down. I think we do go ahead and get a test around like 51.10. But again, we're going to look to take advantage of it on the NQ side. Yeah, there you go. Come on back down. Come on back down to VWAP. That's what we want. Right around here is where we want to go ahead and take that trade. And if I miss a trade, that's okay. The one thing that I'm learning is to not continuously just try to force trades. And of course, later on at about 11:30, you're going to have all access with my man AB. He's going to go ahead and lead the interview. Let's go and take a look at crude oil. It's been a minute since I've traded that one. Let's go to the 4-hour. Let's get rid of everything. There we go. So there's our trend line on the 4-hour, right? Goes back to early Feb. And we'll see if we, actually, I'm going to go ahead and set an alert. If we go ahead and cross down just once. Cool, done. That's not the cleanest resistance area, but we can see how that ends up looking as we look to approach that. APM here, I'll go ahead and take a look at APM with y'all. Like I said, we talked futures, but we can take a look at other stocks as well. Did the $5 hold? And that was about 450-ish. So now you've got the pre-market highs that you're looking to break, which it kind of did, right? It kind of poked above, and now you're really trying to go out crazy from it. Where's my volume? All right, it's looking to go. It's looking to go. Where can you go? Okay, so it's definitely got plenty of room to go to like 750 or so for sure. Are you in this one, y'all? What is Apex like? Do they have good support? I've never had to use support, right? So I can't say yes or no just because I personally have never had to reach out to support. But as soon as I do have a problem and I have to reach out to support, I will let you know my honest opinion. But I just, everything has been smooth sailing, so I'm not quite sure how easy it is to get a hold of support and whatnot. But best believe when I get to the idea of a payout, I will definitely be reaching out to them. All right, let's see if we can go ahead and crack this one here, but I'm going to go back and focus on a couple of other things. You've got Meta, which is under 500, so we can see if this one ends up being resistance or not. I feel like I traded Meta. It's on a different account. I can't even show that one. By the way, for those of you who blindly follow our trading goddess of Nancy Pelosi, you are not doing so well. You had she purchased around, I think the news came out around right here on like Monday, and then you saw the big run up to 320s, and then now you're all the way down. You're making lower lows, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. But do you end up finding the support like you had here is the question at 280, right? So you had support here. And now is this going to be support and we go ahead and march our way back up? Possibly. All right, let's see. It definitely is weird trading by yourself and not having someone like 13 or Ryan to bounce off of. That is for sure. I just need to have AB hop on. Not going to lie, kind of want to take a trade on Meta. Kind of want to. But it's got such great relative strength though, that I don't want to do that. I'll wait to see if we go ahead and pop above 5. And then if we do, I might go long on that one. I'll let you guys know if it happens. There you go. You got your 7 pop. 15-minute candle. Is it going to close above this 630? Is it going to close above this 630? You still got about 2 minutes for this volume to beat the previous candle. Let me know if there are any tickers in the chat that you guys want me to take a look at. Let me go ahead and ping AB here real quick. Aaron, let me know if AB can go ahead and hop on for like 10 minutes before the interview. Where would you look to wait? Where would you wait for the pullback? Yeah, I'll take a look at those tickers. I see them in the chat. I got y'all here in just a minute. Where would you wait for the pullback? In my opinion, this 497.50, you had resistance, 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 popped above. Now, is that going to go ahead and hold on for support? That's the question that I'm curious about. I appreciate it, AT. Right? Is that going to hold on to support? That is TBD. Let's see. I'm just going to set an alert there to find out. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the other ones that y'all wanted to. MSTR. I think I read on FinTwit, this is not, I haven't confirmed this, about how I think there was something along the lines of like their Bitcoin holding value was 15 billion, but the market cap of the company was like 22 billion. Again, you know, just an interesting tidbit that I read, but anyone and their grandma can tweet something. So I don't want to say it's accurate, but it was just something that piqued my interest, obviously. Look at the daily. It's just kind of all over itself. Fill the gap, obviously, and then some, and then you kind of pop right back up on the gap up. It's just insane. How can we go ahead and trade this? Well, I think you've got the previous close that's obviously acting as support, right? So you had resistance, 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 popped up, held as support in the after hours yesterday, and then it just continues to move on up. You've got resistance about right there, 1345. So you're going to be in this range till you break out. So if you go to the upside, I think you can look at calls. If you go to the downside, especially with volume and it reacts and tries to test it, I think you can go ahead and take a look at puts and at least have 1,000 be your target. So you're risking about 50 points, 450 points, end up being like a one-to-one trade. SOUN. Well, what do you know? Looks like we've traded this one recently. And we had drawn out where this was resistance, which held as support, 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 support. Then when it finally broke, if I just go ahead and extend this one, you can see that that support ended up being resistance just 2 days ago. And then to the downside we went, and $5 at the moment is holding on as support. So there it is. I think for me, if I were to trade this one, which I'm not, if I were to, I would see maybe about having my risk off at around 470. If it got to 470, I would get out. So I'm risking approximately 50 to 60 cents on this one. And I would go ahead and get out. Personally, target would be about 586-ish, right around here. Yeah. All right. So far, it's holding on to that line. HPE, is that Hewlett Packard? Or Hewlett? I used to love HP computers, but then I, grew up, became an adult, and got a Mac. Whole number of $20 looks to be resistance. Nothing. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't really know how I trade this one besides the fact that you have 18 that's holding on as support. It was a previous support line right here. So you have resistance, resistance, resistance. Didn't even come to resistance. Popped above. Now is it going to hold on at support? You had earnings. You've got dividend here. So just something to be mindful of if you're going to go ahead and take a look at that one. There's actually a, what is it? Nancy, I think this is the stock, right? Yeah. Shout out to Unusual Whales. It's an interesting ticker. All right, let's see what else. Let's come back to the future side of things and see if we have anything. Well, I see his ghost at least. Nice. Well done. Well done. Come on. Just needed to come down. You know what I need? I need to bring some music next time. I've been jamming out to some rock lately. Can I just... AT, can I just play some music in the background? I feel like I should be able to. Oh, but you know what? I'd have to stop sharing my screen, though. That sucks. Rats. I wanted to give you guys a bit of rock and roll that I've been listening to. Let's listen to some Limp Bizkit. RSVN. Let's take a look. Did you mean RVSN? Maybe you meant RVSN. Sounds good. Thank you, AT. Our boy Aaron Bree is going to hop on in 2 minutes to chop it up with me before he takes it away for all access. Clear support of 250. If it breaks 250, I'd get out. You're risking about $60. But it's not a stock I would get into, to be honest. It's just kind of all over the place. But if you were to, that's where I'd have my risk off area. But again, I think there are better plays out there for sure. If Benzinga is okay with you demonetizing the video, they'll be all right. I am the captain now. Put in one earbud and tell us what you were playing. I did start to, I'm still doing my drum stuff, but I haven't really been great at it, to be honest. I was listening to Animal I Have Become by 3 Days Grace, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, and Rollin' by Limp Bizkit. So I went like old school because I had a road trip to Charlotte for a show. And so I was just jamming out to old school music. Where can we find? I like don't want to force a trade, obviously, because that's terrible risk management. But I'm curious if there are opportunities out there for us that I'm not taking advantage of, you know? All right, tell you what, let's see if we can. Let's see if we can. Go ahead and risk about 250 to make 250 if it gets there. But I have to get filled, right? So it's still a couple of points away from me getting filled there. So either we go ahead and touch this and then we come back down and I get short, or we end up having it touch VWAP on the NQ side of things, and then I go ahead and go long. So we've got a good game plan there. By the way, if any of y'all do trade futures and you want to come on the show with me on Wednesdays, let me know. In about 9 minutes, we'll have our all access interview with Robert here in just a bit. Let's see. I think my goal is, it's okay, Gary, I already covered it, so you're fine. I think my goal, so what is it, March 6th? I am hoping that by the end of March, I can get at least $1,000. Let's go with at least a $500 payout across the accounts that I have with Apex. So that would mean about $2,500, give or take. How many accounts I end up having? That's the goal. TBD, right? Obviously, you guys can see me go through the process and recap the trades and all that stuff, but that's the goal that I have for myself for the month of March.
What up, Zunaid?
What is going on?
How we doing?
How's trading been for you?
Hey, you know, my man Jay Powell's doing his thing, pumping the markets.
You're so dumb. Dude, let's just look at this, right? Before I hand over the floor to you in about 7 minutes. Like, look at this. It is just crazy how big of a run we have been on with not really any pullbacks. I think the weekly, I think we've had like 7 out of 8 green weeks on the SPY.
We had a pullback yesterday, Sinead, a little bit.
Man, come on.
Bears came in, everything closed in the red. Today, hey.
That pullback has already been like, we're already above that pullback area. So we're already above it.
I know. Yeah, I mean, very short-lived day for the Bears yesterday. Came in, everything closed red. You had Bitcoin, of course, sell off after hitting those all-time highs. Bitcoin coming back a little bit today. What did we drop to yesterday, Zunaid? Like 63,000?
The low of, for Bitcoin, here, I got you right here, buddy. It's cool. I'm liking Dogecoin, so I feel like cool. You know, when I talk to like my nieces and nephews that are like 18, they're like, "Are you into Dogecoin?" I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Got me a straight band on that.
Bro, you want to know? All right, I'm gonna pull up my Robinhood right
now. The
low,
by the way, was 59,224.
59?
Yeah, it dropped like 10 grand.
Damn.
Yeah.
I
made the highs and then.
I'm pulling up my history in Robinhood right now. Let's guess my first purchase of Dogecoin, what it was trading at.
Oh, like a while back? I will say it was at about 17 cents back when Elon was gung-ho about it.
I'll show you. Let me share my screen real quick.
All right.
Man, this hurts. All right, this is my Robinhood history right here. I bought 1,500 Dogecoin at 0.009. So I bought it at less than a cent. I bought it at less than a cent, Junaid. I could have freaking retired, and then look, I sold it at a loss. I sold it when it was at 0.008. No. Like,
you worried about? Wow.
Man, 20
my boy put in $25 and was like, nah, I'm down $10. I'm out.
Yeah. When I could have, if I would have just held on, that $15 would have, I mean, what Dogecoin's high was like 70 cents. So if I had,
we hit $1. No,
I don't think it ever hit $1. So look,
wait,
okay,
really?
So in this 2-day span, I bought more than 3,000 Dogecoin for the price of $33. So if I would have held on to that and sold that at the highs of like 70 cents, which is a bad assumption to make because no one is going to, sell exactly at the highs. But had I done that, you're probably looking at like $2,000, 2,500 maybe off of $30. But instead I sold it like 10 days later for a loss. Bought back, looks like at 1 cent. Kept buying a little bit. So 2021 was a different time, man. I was throwing like, look, $250 into freaking Dogecoin. I don't really do that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I've grown up.
Adult now.
I've grown up, Zunaid. I mean, you always say this about me that I'm the most mature guy at Benzinga.
I think that's a lie.
Well, are you sure?
I think that's a lie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No. I'm pretty sure that was just an AI that you made up. But let me ask you this. I know you don't trade futures, but if you were to trade futures, what would you trade? Would you trade like the NQ, the ES, crude oil, platinum, uranium?
You got
copper?
You got some onion futures on there?
I don't know if that's a future. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's see.
Yeah. Coffee, orange juice. I'm a big orange juice futures guy.
Yeah, real mature of you, buddy. Appreciate you coming on.
I'm serious. They have the commodities futures markets. Those are the real. No, I don't know. I would probably just buy NASDAQ. I would probably buy the whatever the NASDAQ one is.
So here's a couple of trades. The NASDAQ one is NQ. So here are the trades that we might get filled here actually. So I'm looking to go short the ES if we do go ahead and get to this 51.27 level, which is about a 1.5 away.
I know, Jay Diamond. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like now I learned my lesson. There was no point in me selling for, $10. I should have just held on. I mean,
so I'm in Dogecoin for $1,000 at 9 cents. So I was up 100% as of yesterday, and now I'm only up about 60%. But to me, we had the conversation, right? Where it's like, if you're going to go into crypto, I don't know if I'm buying Bitcoin. I think especially if I'm trying to go risky, I'm trying to buy something like a Doge or Sheepcoin or some of the other ones.
Someone in our chat pointed this out yesterday that basically, and obviously we don't have that much history to work off of with crypto, but over the last, say 3, 4, 5 years, every time we've had, what was that?
I am short one contract of ES. And we have our targets at 51.22. We've got 2 minutes left in the show before we get Robert on with you. So we'll see if I get filled or stopped out. We'll find out. But nonetheless, sorry about that. Meta crossing as well. So you've got a little bit of pullback on the downside. Now, obviously, Meta's still up on the day, still higher than the indexes themselves. And my leg is asleep, so I'm going to need you to keep talking so I can stretch.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, like someone in the chat pointed this out yesterday, that whenever we've seen big rallies in the overall crypto market, you've seen altcoins running, and it makes logical sense, right? Because people will look at Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs, look at Ethereum, see all these people posting about their gains, and they're saying, okay, I want to get involved. I want to make a lot of money very quickly with crypto. But then you look at the price of Bitcoin, you look at the price of Ethereum, and you're saying, okay, my avenue to make money quickly in crypto, like almost like a casino type thing, probably isn't with these plays, right? Bitcoin's not going from 70,000 to 140,000 tomorrow. It's not going 100% overnight.
Yeah.
But there are a million altcoins, meme coins, whatever you want to call them, that are trading at like less than a cent that do have the potential to do it. And it's a crapshoot. It's like going to the casino and playing roulette. Yeah. But if I were to put money into crypto right now, Zunaid, I'd try to find one of these small coins that I think has the chance of blowing up so that I could put in $100 and maybe make 1,000 versus buying Bitcoin. And like, you know, again, to give even a 20% return on Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin would have to go up like $15,000 to, you know, to what's it now, 70? So it would have to go to like 85,000 or 83. You know, it's at 67. I'm just doing quick mental math, but you get my point. Is that you're not going to see this doubling, tripling, 10x your money in Bitcoin or Ethereum, at least in the short term. These meme coins, you might. So next time we have a big, you know, Bitcoin starts heating up, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start playing some of these small coins. And again, it's not like sound
for more than $30. For more than $30. But I'll tell you what, I got to hop to a meeting. I know you've got an interview going on as well. You and I are actually recording a show tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. You can bring this a Bitcoin mindset. But chat, don't forget, if you want to go ahead and trade futures, make sure you check out Apex, and it would help us out, help me out if you go ahead and use promo code FEVER. And AB, the show is yours, pal. See you next time.
All right, see you, Zunaid. We will chat tomorrow. Again, Zunaid and I are doing a new show, The Market Rundown. It's pretty good. We've got, you know, a lot of good content. It's not just stocks. We talk about some other things, too. So
it's the market breakdown, not the rundown. But okay, bye.
All right. I'm just messing with Zunaid there a little bit. All right. Let's get into our all access. Again, if this is your first time joining us for an all access, this is where we bring on executives from publicly traded companies. You guys get to ask questions in the chat. We get to learn more about these companies straight from the executives themselves. Today we have Thumzup Media Corp, OTC, ticker TZUP. It's right there up on the screen, right there. All right. Right there, TZUP. We got the CEO, Robert Steele, hanging out backstage. So without further ado, let's give Mr. Steele our very special all-access welcome and chat about Thumzup when we get back. All right, Robert, how you doing today? Happy Wednesday.
Excellent. Good to speak with you, Aaron.
Good to have you here. So before we get started, do you mind giving us just a brief overview of Thumzup, what it is that you guys do?
Absolutely. So similar to how Uber created tens of billions of dollars of value by democratizing ride sharing, and similar to how Airbnb created tens of billions of dollars of value by democratizing hospitality, we believe that Thumzup is in the process of creating billions of dollars of value by democratizing the $200 billion social media marketing and advertising industry. So the way I explain that to my mom is I say that Thumzup is the only platform we know of that makes it really easy for any brand or business to pay people cash to post about the brand or business to their friends on their personal social media. That's what we do.
Got it. And I'm curious about the vision that led to the founding of Thumzup and how has it evolved since that inception?
Sure. Well, for fun, I play a lot of music. So I play guitar, I play keyboards, I sing, and I live in Los Angeles. There's a lot of creative people that come to LA seeking fame and fortune. But in the meantime, they end up driving for Uber or waiting tables. And so I've got a lot of friends that's their life. And as a technologist, this is the fifth technology company that I've started. It's the third public company that I've been CEO or president of. So I have experience in building technology. So I thought there must be some way to connect everybody, all of my friends, to this massive industry. So the FANG stocks were talked a lot about in the last bull run. That's Facebook and Google, half of that. So this digital marketing business, it's huge. It's 200 billion a year, going to 300 billion a year that is spent on these digital ads. And ostensibly, they're making money from your friends and my friends. I'm streaming this on my personal LinkedIn. So LinkedIn's selling ads to my friends. Okay, so the big idea at Thumzup was there must be some way to make it so that everybody can make money from their friends for recommending products. That was the big idea. And we believe in that. We think that in the current economy that everybody needs an extra way to make some more money. And the reality is, Aaron, that your voice is really valuable. If you tell your friends that you like a product, they're going to pay attention to that. And so without Thumzup, there's no easy way for a brand to get 10,000 or 100,000 people to tell their friends about a product. And that's what we do.
Got it. And so how does Thumzup differentiate itself in its market, and what unique value does it offer its users?
Well, believe it or not, there really is nothing that does what I just told you about. So the closest thing out there, so we're differentiated because we right now are the only thing that does what we just said. The closest thing to what Thumzup is doing is there's a variety of influencer marketing marketplaces. So there's a public company called IZEA. There's some other platforms known as Grin and Paid. Now, those are the platforms that you would go to. So say, for instance, that you've got a e-commerce product line and you want a professional influencer to talk about your socks or your shoes to their audience, then you would go on a platform like IZEA or Grin or Paid, and you would it's kind of like a dating site. You find an influencer, you like the way they look, you see how many followers they have, and then you open a contract with them for them to rep your product. So there's a bunch of those types of platforms. That industry is about a $20 billion a year industry that's now forecast to grow to be a $200 billion industry. And we believe that we're similar to that, but we're not targeting professional influencers. We're targeting the general public. There's 3 billion users on Instagram. That's who we want to connect brands to, those 3 billion users on Instagram. So we're differentiated because we're disruptive to this space. There really isn't anything that does what we do right now.
Got it. Well, you mentioned that this is not your first rodeo in tech, so I want to talk a little bit about the tech of Thumzup. Could you tell us about the core technologies or innovations that power Thumzup and how they contribute to the company's success?
Sure. Thanks, Aaron. So, the coin of the realm in technology is something needs to be frictionless for you to get massive adoption. So, the first time you ever used Uber, most people, it was pretty impressive. You put it on your phone. You said, I need to, get a ride to this place. And then you get this user interface that shows you, the car is on its way. Very, very easy. You didn't have to take a course on how to do it. So Thumzup has that from a technology standpoint, that this is an extremely fast experience for the user. So there's a coffee shop down the street called La Frenchie Cafe. One morning, I needed a cup of coffee. I walk in there, I actually forgot they were an advertiser in our app. I'm standing in line and I asked the woman in front of me, I say, you see that sign on the counter? This coffee shop will pay you $10 to share a photo of your coffee to your friends on Instagram. And before I'd even finished that sentence, this stranger had pulled her phone out of her purse and she was downloading Thumzup. And within 2 minutes, she posted her photo of her coffee and made her $10. So that looks easy, but that's a lot of technology to make all those pieces work really, really smooth and fast and to scale so that many, many people can do that. Those connections to Instagram, those connections to our payment platform, the ability for the advertiser to be able to review and approve that post really quickly. That's a lot of technology. We're big believers in Steve Jobs, keeping things simple and making things easy for people.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it is incredible now with, all these different apps you can download and how seamless they work. And I bet most people don't even think about all of the work that goes in behind the scenes, but of course you are. Robert, can you discuss Thumzup revenue model and how it has adapted to changes in the market or user behavior?
Sure. So this is a very simple revenue model. If a brand, so for instance, here I'm speaking to you from Los Angeles. So there's a Harley Davidson dealership, motorcycle dealership called Bartels. That's an advertiser in the Thumzup app. So when they want to buy a Thumzup campaign, they just go on the ThumzupMedia.com website. They pick how much they want to pay people. So they're currently paying $10 for people to post a picture of their bike, and then they pick how many posts they want to load up in the platform. So say they load up 100 posts, that's 10 times 100, that's $1,000. So our revenue model is a 30% commission on that. So that transaction, we would charge the dealership $1,300. $300 is our revenue. And then the $1,000 stays in our system until the 100 posts get made. And when the 101st post attempt happens, that user will see a message in the app. When they tap on Bartels Harley Davidson, it'll say, this campaign's been so popular, please try again later. And then our sales team can then call Bartels and say, hey, we see people want to tell their friends about your motorcycles. Why don't you buy some more posts? That creates the recurring revenue model. And that's very similar to how Facebook ads work and how Google ads work. But this is, at the end of our process, this is a real person telling their friends about Bartels Harley motorcycles. It's not an ad, which more and more people tune ads out. But if you posted about a nice big Harley, people are going to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't be the one posting about the Harley, but I got some buddies that might be interested in that. What strategies does Thumzup's platform employ to attract and retain a diverse range of users and businesses, especially in competitive markets like LA and other major cities?
Sure. So, one of the things that's just naturally happening is that we've got a nice distribution of different types of advertisers that appeal to lots of different demographics. So we have, we've got different pizza shops, we've got different coffee shops, we've got different clothes boutiques, we've got yoga studios, gyms, the local Harley Davidson dealership. So we have a very, very broad range of different advertisers that people can post about. We just onboarded a new advertiser called Hope and Sesame. It's a sesame milk. It's in 20 Costco's in the Pacific Northwest, in Seattle and Portland. So right now, any of your listeners in Seattle and Portland can go to Costco and get paid to tell their friends about Hope and Sesame milk. So really, we appreciate the fact that the different advertisers that we're bringing on are creating access and value to all kinds of different demographics, and that's actually happening naturally, which we're pretty excited about.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Robert, I got one more question for you before we wrap up. What type of music do you play in your free time?
Well, I am a compose modern Christian rock worship music. That's what I'm into.
Oh man, I would have guessed something else, but that's awesome. All right. Well, Robert, I appreciate you coming on again. CEO of Thumzup, ticker is up on the screen. TZUP, trading the OTC markets. Robert, it's been awesome to learn more about Thumzup. Sounds like a very cool product. Can't wait to try it out. And thanks for hopping on Benzinga's All-Access with us today.
Great. Thanks, Aaron.
Oh yeah, I like that. Thumbs up, man. Have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Again, that was Robert Steele, CEO of Thumzup, ticker TZUP. All access. I mean, this is awesome. This is the one place you're able to go on YouTube to get these conversations with executives for free. I mean, you're not going to get this information for free basically anywhere else. So, love this programming that we do. Thank you to Thumzup and Brian for joining, and Robert for joining us today. That'll be a wrap on All Access. We've got some more content coming up today. Make sure to stay tuned. We got Pal streaming as well. So if you guys want to hop over there, and then we got maybe Powerball later today. We'll see. Smash the like if you have not already. Peace and love, y'all. Happy trading.